Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Lisa? Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Mr. Finelli just texted me, he's going to be about 10 minutes late. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We don't know where they're at, so we're going to go through until we get to the promotions. I think that's what mostly everybody's here for, but we're waiting on the police department for that. So, looking for a motion for the approval of the minutes of the August 15th and September 19th meetings.
I'll make the motion.
Anyone want a second?
I'll second.
Roll call. Yes.
I need to abstain on the September 19th, but on the August 15th, yes?
Yes.
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 Treasury report. Everybody had a chance to look at September's bill list and the treasurer's report. Anybody have any? Anybody want to make a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
You want to put that off until professionals are here to talk about a couple of things, or you just want to approve it and then talk to them about it?
Well, we have a motion, so let's second it, then we can discuss it with you. Okay, so we got a motion by Lily, and anybody want a second? I'll second. Now we can discuss. What do you want to do?
I just think on the, so we've got some engineering fees on the road program already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's probably like close to 3,000. I think we got to set a not to exceed on this. I mean, you know, the grant, not the grant, what's the overlay budget we set for this year, 307? So we need to ask Mike what his estimates are on this, because there hasn't been, you know, nothing's completed yet.
Yeah.
So I
Are
don't
they
want to
the-
get this too far ahead.
Are they the only items? Paul, do you have something else you want?
No, I didn't know.
No, that's the only thing. I would like to get an estimate from Mike so we can set a not to exceed on this.
Okay, so I
So that's
would
really
say,
it.
to you, should we,
So it's okay as long as,
we can pull those off, or you just want to table it
no,
until it gets?
I think it's just a matter of just asking him what his estimate is for that program. That's all.
Let's not tell anybody how to vote. Let's vote no until he comes, or you're just worried about putting the not to exceed on?
I just want to get a not to exceed.
Okay, so we're okay with paying them, we just,
Yeah.
okay.
It's just, they'll just go towards the not to exceed.
Okay, roll call? Yes.
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 Was that worded as treasurer's report and the September bill list, or just the bill list?
Well, in case she could have more than. I did want to update you on one item.
Okay.
We had our bond anticipation notes out a couple weeks ago. We got 5 bids actually. Illinois Bank got it at a 1.36 interest rate, so that comes out to a net interest payable of about $31,000. So the fact that we got 5, I was very pleased with that.
Kathleen, do you remember what our rate was last year? I think it was higher than that, right? So,
I'll have to look.
let's check. All right.
So someone want to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
We're done with that.
We're done with that? That was
Yeah,
good?
but
We covered that?
do you want to, when do you want to cover
I
the,
left you guys
the budget?
a summary of where we're at with the budget. Again, I'm pleased with where we're at with the budget overall. If anybody looks over this at any time and wants any detail or has any questions, you can notify me.
Yeah, I mean, the only comments I'll make on that is, I mean, there is the total balance left, there's still a lot of stuff that has to be encumbered, but, there's really nothing right now that's over. I think there's only one item.
Right. And I'm actually really happy with you.
Oh, you know what, I did have a question, why is the group insurance over?
I knew you would ask
Hmm.
that. Because in December, I have to take all the contributions that the employees make
Oh,
into
then you-
the employee.
So this is the gross,
Right.
okay.
Yep.
And then the audit too, like, was that
That
something
was
that,
from the new FAST system that the state has implemented, the financial
Yeah.
estimated something, that everything had to be inputted into the system
extra, okay. I did learn about that recently, so.
Good. Anybody else have anything? Lily, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Chief, you ready to go then with your promotions? Come on up. Come on down. This is ready. No, I think we're good. You can hand it out to everyone just so they can see it, but I think we're good to go.
I'm handing you out the rural and the liquor store for the testing procedure. How our testing goes is, we have,
Did anybody want to go in executive to discuss the scoring and everything? I mean, did you want to do it that way? Or, I mean, I think
No.
everybody's doing it,
We're
right?
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Thanks, Rick.
When you come up on the department thing, I'm gonna ask about costs.
You ready to go?
okay, you had approved the testing of 2 sergeants in our municipal budget for 2019. The testing has been completed and detected what was in Norman Skelton for the top 2 with their written score and their oral scores that were in front of you, and recommending them for the promotion of sergeant. And does the committee have any questions?
Good.
Next step, we have open by the clerk, Derek, I, Gerard Skilton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States and in this state
in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of the office of sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thank you.
Can we, just get a quick picture with me on there?
Thank you very much, yeah. Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Very much appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Sign it? Yes, yeah.
Well, We got more comments.
Doesn't go anywhere.
I, Chris Supple,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments established in
and the governments established in
the United States and in this state,
the United States and in the state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of the
perform
office
all the duties of the office of
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
One more with Chief,
Chris, hey, congratulations.
congratulations.
Won't say anymore. I just want to say thank you to the committee. I know that it's been a long road to try to get to the point that we're at right now, so I very much appreciate it, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think we wanted to show our appreciation to you, too. We appreciate everything you do, and I hope you recognize, you have a lot of support up here. Everyone's very supportive of the police department, and we're trying to help you go in the right direction, and we certainly want you to have what you need, and this is part of it. We've talked for 2 years now of getting that pyramid, the hierarchical pyramid going in the department, and this is another step in that direction, and we wish you all luck, and we thank all of you, even you guys back there, the patrolmen, for everything you do, and good luck, be safe.
Yes, be safe. Photo bomb.
I guess we really should do a resolution on this promotion. We were very excellent. I'll make the motion that we authorize the promotion of the two patrolmen to sergeant in the police department, namely Jerry Skelton and Chris Desopoulos.
A second.
Any questions, comments, discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
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 Okay, thanks. Anything else you need to do, Chief, or?
No, I'm just going to get my monthly report. I'll be back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Good luck, everybody.
Sorry.
That's what does anybody need?
I do have one question.
And you can do it now?
I can do it now.
Yep, okay.
I'm just kind of curious, only because I saw another litigation bill from the attorneys for the Phillipsburg, and I noticed, and I probably noticed it before, but today it dawned on me. We take that straight out of legal. All right, because it only said, well, that's what I was going to ask, because it only said legal, but it's actually coming out of that? Okay, that's it.
It's been that way. All of those.
Yeah, well, I just happened to notice that it only said legal, it didn't
Do we
say.
need Kathleen, before you talk to Mike about the asphalt thing? Do we need her here for that? For the not to exceed, we don't need her for that?
I don't think we need her.
And the salary resolution is done. Does anybody think we need anything on her for that?
The only thing on that, well, do you want to bump it up on that?
Well, let's bump it up and we'll do it before she leaves.
Yeah, I do have a question for you on that.
Okay. So, the salary ordinance is what, 117?
Yeah, there's a spreadsheet.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 117, 2019. Oh, anybody want a second?
So this is the ordinance, yeah,
Any-
not the resolution.
Okay.
I have a question on the resolution,
Oh, okay.
but we can do this.
So I introduced the resolution, I made the motion to adopt the resolution. Anybody want a second?
Wait, wait, you did
did
a
the
resolution
ordinance.
to adopt the ordinance.
The ordinance, you did the top.
Oh, okay, I'm there, yeah.
We're introing the ordinance.
Okay, yeah, I
Do you
did.
wanna, I have a question on the resolution, not the
Okay.
ordinance. So do you wanna pull that back, or?
Well, I didn't get a second, so it just dies, right, Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll make a motion that we adopt Resolution 88, 2019, establishing the salaries for 2019 for Greenwich Township employees. Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Got it. The only question I had, so we did add in the police at the end, on the bottom on this version. So the salaries that were listed for 19 in here, we got straight from Chief Hummer. And actually, I know all the other ones you provided, but that one, are these, I don't know if you had a chance to look at, are these what we're currently in there now, what we're paying them for the police? So the two, do you have a copy of this?
This is the resolution, right?
This is the resolution. No, this is the resolutions they added
You want this
here.
most recent version?
Here's a copy. I just want to make sure that what we have listed in here for the police department salaries, this is what Chief gave us as the current salaries, that this is what we're paying them in the payroll. That's all I want to confirm.
I did not see this at the bottom. I apologize.
Okay.
I didn't think we were including it.
Well, we can, so,
It's a contract, that's.
it's all per contract, so I'm assuming if there's any discrepancy between this and what we have right now, Mike, if we adopt this, we can edit it without an issue because it's all per contract.
Yeah, we're introing this, or,
Well, these are resolutions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
And per contract. so-
It's all so, yeah, and the only other edit is under the crossing guards that we need to add
Yeah.
Jackie's first name but she's not currently doing it any longer, right? But she was in 19, that's what we had to add her. Okay.
Okay, good.
That was it.
Anybody else have any
Anything I
comments?
had on this?
Okay, roll call?
I do have a question.
Yes. Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. We had said that, Lisa was going to get 2 stipends. Where is the vacant property one on here? What one was
It's up
that?
there. It's called
It's right
Vacant
here,
Property
bottom.
Register.
Bottom of the top there, vacant
Oh,
property.
okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
Is that it then? Anybody else? Roll call? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That was all I had.
And then, yeah, we can do the ordinance later then when we go through that, right? Okay. Has everyone had a chance to look at the Department of Public Works report, the Township Clerk's report, the court report, the Animal Control report, and Warren County Board of Health report? Because Joe is not going to be available to give his report tonight, so if everyone's okay with those, we can just do a consent agenda vote on those and wait for Rich to come back for his report. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody,
Do you want to do one at a time? Like, I'm okay with...
would you rather do them one at a time? I usually do a vote on them all once at the end, so.
Well,
Want to
I
go
have
through
a-
them once? Department of Public Works, anybody have any questions, comments, or anything on that?
No.
Okay. Clerk's report, anybody have any questions or discussion?
Yeah, I did have a question on that.
Okay,
Well,
go ahead.
there was a clerk's report, I looked for it before, I missed
let's
it.
just-
So we're going to cover land leases, the land lease stuff separately later
It is
on the agenda?
all
Okay.
those items.
All right.
We can provide you guys an update, but
The question I had was the email migration. Is it done?
it is not done.
Because I thought it was going to be done in September.
Yeah, I want to say that we got a final email list to him after everybody, got their information last week, probably mid-September. So we were a little delayed on that. I was hoping to get that from that first, so.
So what's his target date?
Well, he said once they started, that hopefully within 2 or 3 weeks. So we're nearing that right now.
So he's doing it now, he's in the progress, so he's close to the end of that.
I would think that we should.
So we should say then no later than the end of the month?
I would say, and the last time I spoke to him, he said that he had to coordinate with, Cindy and like start doing some testing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever might be involved with that. So hopefully that's going well and it'll be done soon.
Okay.
So we need to, change the website, and it should have everybody's email as the township email.
Yeah, yeah. Once that's all done.
Once that's done, you'll let Cindy know, right?
And most of you actually have those emails, maybe just not utilizing them, but most of them are actually set up. A few of them are not, but you wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I never had one. I don't even know how to access
Is
this.
there
Yeah,
is there a
I
new
don't
way
know
to,
when
is
you-
there a
Yeah, how do we
different way
have-
to access them than the old way? Because the old way was.
The old way was
so
bad.
painful.
Is it still that surge?
It's terrible, so I would not bother them.
Well, right now, but when it's done,
Yeah,
it's
when
gonna be all,
done,
yes.
It's just easy. You
Oh,
just
okay.
Yeah.
gotta sign in, send Outlook or whatever.
Oh, okay,
and-
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
'Cause this-
Okay.
The way it was,
No,
Oh, so once he's finished, it should be a lot easier to use.
yeah, yeah, that's what I mean.
absolutely.
'Cause I would love to
That's why
use
I've
it,
been
but,
pushing for this,
yeah.
because even when I'm away or I'm in my other office, I can't access like a fraction of what we have.
yeah, it's very frustrating to set up. So.
Um,
If Frank had trouble, you can only imagine with somebody like me had trouble.
I mean, I was able to get into it, but it wasn't the easy, it wasn't the friendliest, just put it that way.
Anything else on the clerk's report?
well, there's a couple things you have on here that I don't know if we should take action tonight on. So you have on here about the records disposal, the mailbox damage needing a resolution.
Those are just items that have been on my report for months that I just don't want the TC to forget about, and at some point.
He's clearly forgotten about, so maybe we should just do them now. I mean, like, what do we need on the mailbox thing? We have to adopt a resolution to pay for
Yeah, we already
reimbursement.
discussed it, and then
My suggestion is
I
that
brought
we
it up in the
don't,
last meeting, so
a
everybody take it
resolution
home,
that we
or
or
if there's some
or
other questions.
as needed to
Yeah.
outline when, when we're gonna give the fees and what fees they are. There's been like an understood policy forever here, but I think it should be in writing, for Mike, but, it's just an easy resolution to do. It's a couple lines at the beginning of the year, and it just establishes when we're gonna pay and what situation.
Do we need to introduce it now? You know, I mean,
No, I mean, I could just prepare it for reading for this year, and I could review it, but it's.
but what if there's a mailbox damage prior to reorg? Do we need to do it now?
Right now, they give $35 for the post and 35 for the mailbox or something like that.
Can we just, if we do it, the resolutions are only good for a year, right?
Right.
All right. So,
I could easily have them for November if you want one,
but then we have to do another one on January.
which, again, is one more number, consent agenda, it's not a big deal. If you want it, I'll do it.
It's fine. All right, yeah, let's put it for next month then. And then what's the records disposal issue?
Well, the main part of that is that, first of all, I haven't disclosed anything in my office proper since I came on board because, we wanted to retain those things, but the bigger issue is that all of those records are at the school. My understanding is that money was spent, the company was brought in, things were earmarked for disposal, they were lined up, they were cataloged, the paperwork was not filed with the state. When I reached out to the Division of Archives and Records Management when I came on board, there was 2 records disposal requests ever for Greenwich Township. So, in order to dispose of anything, we need to get their permission. And all those records of school, especially that's a property that we want to auction at some point in the near term, whatever we can legally dispose of, we should legally dispose of it as soon as possible. And whatever we can't dispose of, we need to figure out where we're going to put it, how we're going to archive it. The other thing that I added to my report this month under the zoning and land use, I'm frustrated, I think, people that are trying to purchase properties in town are probably frustrated when they call in to get information about properties and their history. The answer is that we don't have any records. If it's permit based, we can refer them to state code office, and then they can give them a printout of whatever has gone through the state code office in terms of plumbing, electrical, or building. But in terms of any kind of actual site plans, any records that would normally be in a zoning or a planning board file, we're saying that we don't have them. I believe that there are records downstairs in the vault, and, you know, the PD's folder is kind of filled with, assessment records and things like that. I think we need to, at a minimum, go through and find out what we do have and what we don't have. And it would be pretty simple to encourage all of our employees in their departments to take a little bit of time, go through, even if it's a drawer every other week, and just sort of catalog what's in there and what we do have for under what law. Paul and I had spoken when I first started here. I said maybe we need to get 20 filing cabinets and line them up in the meeting room and start to put things away so that at least we can organize and find out what we can get rid of and what we can keep, what we have to keep. But it's not a small project. We're not even talking like archiving them or having somebody digitally scan them so that we can, you know, retain the record but get rid of the paper files. I mean, that's a whole other animal. We don't even know what we have over in that school as far as I know. Which is a shame because I understand that money was spent to go through all of that. But at this point, when I walked over there, there was no sign saying.
No, I can share some information. Joe Mexi would probably be as close to the best person that kind of knows what's going on over in there. And there was a lot of records that were put to the side that the DPW carried up there that were supposed to be whatever approval process to destroy them was. Well, somehow or another, in somebody's haste, multiple, whatever, a lot of that stuff got mixed up with the good stuff. And we may not have a clear definition of what was separated good and bad anymore. I mean, I think there's a kind of an idea, but, and that would be, Joe would be able to tell you that.
If she doesn't have a list anyway,
No.
we would have to go through it all anyway, because it's gotta be somewhat specific when you send it down to, have it, you know, you get.
Right, no, I know exactly, well,
So,
maybe Joe will know the list,
for
but
naught, but
I'm
without
thinking
those
so.
records, it was for naught anyway.
Right.
My guess is we don't have that list.
right, my guess is too.
But was it already approved? Was the list sent to the state?
Yeah, apparently not. And the other thing, Lisa, when the town, the zoning and the land use board are not required to keep site plans here, for changes in new building and things like that, but all the deeds go to the county, and that's where the plot plans are. So it's either DCA or,
Even in Bloomsbury, I mean, by way of example, we have 350 parcels total, and I have 9 filing cabinets stuck to the hilt with information, and our parcels are also small, you can barely put a deck on if you want to.
right.
There should be some records. There should be block and lot files here that have information about applying to the planning board to, you know, put a deck on, or applying to our board of health to, you know, do a septic alteration, or, you know, things like that. It's handled a little different here and there.
Yeah, it is, because
But there should be something.
maybe, but the septic's all handled through the Board of Health, you know, so you're not gonna find that here and stuff, but,
But every time that somebody comes in every time somebody comes in and sees Larry and they need to get his permission and his approval to do something, that approval should reach a block and lot file somewhere that then in the future you can access. Any work that he's done, or the people before him, any work that Susanna has done and the people before her, there should be block and lot files for that have that information. And you can't lawfully take that file and go, okay, we get an approval, and toss it. It has to be somewhere.
oh, no, there's lots of files downstairs,
That's what I mean.
but it's not like every lot and block and parcel and stuff, right?
I thought when Dave Moretto was the zoning officer, that he was pretty good about that he had files.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're somewhere.
Now what happened, of course, when Larry came in, I don't
Well, no,
know.
Larry's never done any files. The only files that we've ever seen, and Larry's, there's just no time for him to go through, they're all downstairs at the bottom of the stairs, and all the bottled water's there in front of him. But there's never been any reason for him to go in there searching or anything at this point.
But there is, because every time a resident or a realtor or a lawyer calls here and they're requesting those documents, or they submit those requests to my office seeking those documents, the response from our zoning and land use board is, we don't maintain those files. And that's not an accurate answer, if you ask me. We should have, whatever files that we have, we should be able to access, and we should be able to provide that information to anybody that files an approval. if they're downstairs and we can't get to them, we need to figure out how we can get to them, is all I'm saying, even if that takes a period of time.
So it sounds like there's like two separate issues, right? We have the whole zoning stuff downstairs, and then we have
Just
this
like separate on this, yeah.
stuff that was supposed to be destroyed that hasn't been filed with the state.
Right.
So, but what priorities, what's the first priority? Should we get the stuff out of the school first, to work on that before we work on the
I
zoning
think
stuff?
we should encourage every department head to start working on their files. Bonnie already went downstairs with me, she went through, she doesn't have a ton of stuff, and Kathleen's aware of, disposal time periods and stuff, she probably has a few boxes down there that she could regulate for. But when it comes to zoning and land use, the answer is always, you don't have anything, and I don't think that's accurate. And I think we should try to encourage them to spend a little time, even if it's 30 minutes a month, to go through a drawer and figure out what we do have and come up with some sort of catalog or, bring filing cabinets up here and start to get that organized.
Do these individual departments know what they have to do as far as the filing goes?
Yes.
I would suspect in all of their other towns, and they both work for multiple other towns, I would suspect that they have files that they access on a daily basis when they get a similar request.
So
Here
someone
they-
needs to oversee each department and give them a timeline and manage this, what we call a project. Who's gonna do that? I mean, we can't just go and say, all right, just go and clean up, and no, there's no oversight. So someone's gonna be the oversight to say that they're doing it and doing it the right way.
Well, I mean, Joe and the DPW, they're always offering their help. I think that they're very helpful. I mean, like I said when I started, maybe the answer is, start with 5 filing cabinets, put them over there, and bring up a few boxes a month, and go through them and start. You have to start somewhere.
Is this a job we could get a part-time person, temporary? I mean, what would we need to have someone do this? Like, what kind of background?
You're talking about right now going through filing cabinets, and if they're already in block and lot, you're talking about bringing them up. If Larry can't access the records because of where they are, then bring them into the common area that he can access them. And we're just talking about putting them in block and lot order.
Yeah, the danger is not only that you want to be able to find records that you have, but if an open request comes in, it's not, the answer can't be that we can't find them. Like, we have them, we have to produce them. So I think the thing is, you just need to get somebody to catalog. So, just so we know what's in the file. And then at least if an open request comes in or some, and then going forward, you maintain some type of, but I think job one would be, you get somebody in here, temporary or whatever, and then their job is to just catalog what we have. And then at least we have a spreadsheet or whatever, so that we know all the documents that we have on the lot blocks, along with all the other documents.
Because my concern is, most everybody's part-time, and it's not gonna get done. Like, how often is Larry here? One night a week?
2 hours a week.
2 hours?
2 hours a week.
I mean,
Although,
when's he gonna
he
be able
did
to
work
handle
here
it?
till 10:30 this week because he had a lot to do,
But still, like, I think,
right.
this thing's been dragging on for years. In the school, I mean, God only knows how many years that stuff's been there.
I'm not even suggesting that we have our part-time timers.
No, but I think it's time that if we're gonna address this, we
should
address it fully, we do that stuff, we do the school, we hire somebody, they need guidance and management to know what records should be destroyed, what shouldn't be, and we just get it done. Because, I mean, we talk about it, I mean, as long as I've been in this town, it's been talked about, that stuff's been in school for what, 10 years or more? So why don't we just hire somebody and do it?
When you and I had spoken about getting,
Let's get a part-timer in here.
high
I mean, I was
school-
saying like do an intern over the summer, but if we don't want to wait and we want to get this done, do it now. I mean, we just have to ask Kathleen to
You
dress
don't
them up.
have to wait for the summer for an intern, because there's plenty of commuting students that you can get. And I think at East college level, you can't have a high school student doing that.
The only concern I have is about putting, I mean, I'm not saying your idea is bad, just putting cabinets here, but if it's gonna interfere with meetings or anything else, it's like, sort of.
I just was, for lack of any other space, so that it's accessible and people can, work on it.
I mean, personally,
No one's gonna be working in the school sorting things. I think we'd have to have Public Works bring them over, whether it's in that garage bay or into the meeting room when we're not having meetings, and then.
Do we even
sort
know how
the
much
boxes and
is
bring the
there?
boxes over.
I've never been in that building first either. You've been in there?
Yeah, no, it's a nightmare.
I mean, what kind of volume of,
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Wow.
what's a lot?
Everything from like
It would fill this room
2001
up.
prior?
It would fill this
No,
room?
No.
You're so funny.
It's like 3 aisles, 2 boxes wide, 3 or 4 boxes high, and like 3 rows of that.
And multiple classrooms too, right?
I hope not. I
Yeah.
would be in the one room with the records. They were.
No, in class.
No, it's in multiple, that's what I'm saying.
I thought Joe said that they put it all in the.
Did they get it all straight? The last time I was in there, I saw it was in multiple.
Well, a lot of that window's gonna be able to get thrown out, so whoever gets it, you could tell them anything with certain dates, you just throw into the throw out pile, we gotta have category, you know, gotta have, like, I think you could be generic enough where you could put down like January reports for or whatever. That's enough of a description, I
Yeah,
think,
it
to
would be
destroy
the
it.
state moving
But
forward,
yes,
put
but you
in
gotta
the
have
file.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
But first, like, all that, someone's gonna have to direct the person that we hired to do it, unless they have the experience with it. And then my concern is, there's not enough space in here, and I'm not even sure you wanna bring that material
Yeah,
in here to
that's
begin
right.
with. Is do we need to get some temporary storage for it? And how do we set that up?
What happened to the library?
No, I don't know, I don't know. It was-
Oh,
That was
They
the
were
promise.
They were offering to store stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, that's what I
Yeah, that was
heard.
the promise. Don't follow up.
Also, even.
Yeah, I can call and see if that offer's still on the table, but it's
It's
like anything else, now that it's built, and they don't need anything, gotta be off the table.
Just saying.
Say again?
That's correct.
The statute, there's a statute that requires all municipal documents to be kept in the municipal code.
Oh, okay.
Now, I can check to see if there's an exception for buildings owned by the town, but I don't think that's the case. I think the statute says that. Now, those were gonna be destroyed, so assuming that those were all the ones that, but
Well, not everything over there is gonna be destroyed. There's stuff over there that there's no room for here.
There's absolutely stuff over there that has to be protection.
Yeah.
So it's mixed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also to coordinate, like with a shredder, we would have to, have a pile and know that those
Yeah.
things are being shredded. There's a lot of sensitive stuff over there that shouldn't just be.
Put out there.
It's a monster job. It's a monster job.
Well, you gotta get it all, like you said, put it in one pile, then you make arrangements for the shredding truck to come here one day and take it out back and throw it in,
I mean, there's other services that, you do lock containers, they come and pull in, I've seen those.
Yeah, it's probably easier just to make one, they wanna make a date for them to come, because I think some of them were certified, I think they're gonna be certified, thing that the records are destroyed and stuff.
Yeah, it is. It
And
has to
some
be.
of that can fall under, if we have that cleaning money.
No, Bob, we would run the shredding through that, yeah. Bob's had a shredder here before. We're
Yeah.
talking about doing it again.
Okay. Okay, that's what
Well,
we did.
So you wanna make
What do
a
we
motion?
do?
I mean, we're gonna hire, gotta advertise, I guess, right? You wanna put out an advertisement,
I
looking?
think we should start by
Mhm.
going over there with our John, just so we can see.
Well, I think, the first thing is just to inspect it.
Well, we could do a motion to advertise for a part-time position, we have to first, just to kind of get the ball rolling, but we have to find out that we have the money to do it this year. Because if not, then we gotta push it off to 20 and put it in the budget.
I have to talk, going into reorg and everything I have to do for reorg, I'm just started reading recently.
Yeah, waiting this long.
Well, it'll take us a couple of months to come up with a plan anyway.
Yeah.
So Lisa and Paul are taking that challenge, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I will go downstairs and start to review the zoning records periodically. As my season's coming to the end, I'll have some available time to see if it is as cut and dry as Lisa would like to think it is.
Well, I don't think it's cut and dry, but there are definitely zoning files.
Rich, is your department involved in this at all? Do you have anything over there? I mean,
No, we have records that we can destroy, but, Danielle did not have the time to go through that stuff. Not get rid of normal stuff, so, my plan was to get an intern to assist with that.
Mhm.
This didn't work out, because, like you said, they would have to be basically supervised, by Danielle or by an officer. And I think Lieutenant Cagle might be the only one close enough to have the knowledge to know what to destroy and everything like that, so, it's a little bit.
How about any companies you know, Mike, that do it? And
there's
sometimes
gotta be somebody.
it's easier to contract out, maybe
Yeah,
have someone
I'm
come
not
and
aware
go.
of any, but there must be somebody. I mean, the other thing is, just to put a finer point on it, is, a lot of these old records that we can destroy, if they're destroyed and we don't have them anymore, we don't have to produce it. But if somebody submits an Oprah request, it's that additional cost and everything having to.
No. I wonder if we couldn't do an advertisement on the Clerks Association thing, maybe like a retired clerk who knows all those retention laws, who's retired.
You could get away with a few,
Basis
yeah.
and go through it. Maybe somebody looking for things
Well,
like that.
I always tease Eloise if that's how I'm gonna drag her back into municipal government and then make her files. I mean, you know, at least we know her, trust her, she's been in this.
She knows all the retention laws and stuff too?
It's not that complicated. You know the record type, and then you know the department, and then you know the retention. It's not.
And you could just print it offline, and you could follow that.
I have the book in my office, and the second month I was here, I gave every department a little copy of there, so they could start going through their stuff. It just kind of got stuck there.
Oh.
But
Well, why don't you start figuring out what size cabinets we have and start ordering them, getting them in here, so we can start that first of the year. Because there's plenty of space right here, we could put cabinets.
Danielle's taking over, everything is brought and scanned in, so we don't accumulate any
yeah,
data.
anything new.
It's scanned in and then we get rid of it, so it's done how it should have been done. But if you wanted us to do that, you wanted to do 1 hour, we, do that after the normal hours.
You mean for PD, right? To get
Yeah.
the old PD record? Yeah,
Right, each department.
I think.
I think that would be a good idea if she were willing to do that. Because
And
it's a
I also
lot of
believe
work.
that the assessor went through her files down there, and I think that Jenny's comfortable with what's down there that's assessment.
Oh, the filing cabinets we're gonna buy, and put- these are stuff we're gonna have to keep, so we need the filing cabinets anyway, so we might as well just buy them.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, just get some, I don't know what size you need, so you have to figure that out.
I just, priced some with Joe, I wanna say they were like $150 a piece or something, with more. These are, you know, we're not talking that much money, but if we get us started, it's cheap.
Get them, fill all
If we
this in.
bought, if we bought 8 or something, anyway, we're gonna need them.
We'll all be sitting here single aisle one day. Yeah.
We gotta start sometime, that's what I'm saying. I'm just not comfortable responding that we don't have stuff, so.
So where we at? What are we gonna do?
Wait until the meeting.
Authorize me to buy some filing cabinets?
You're gonna get cabinets, and then you guys are gonna assess what,
I mean, I'll talk to
It's
Larry
down
and
there and
Susanna,
stuff.
and I don't think Susanna would be opposed to giving an extra half an hour a month even to just kind of start looking at what she has. There's stuff boxes all over the place, give her a filing cabinet, let her get started.
Well,
and then
Little bit at a time.
authorize her to start or create a job posting, with the intent that it would start to, next year.
January, yeah, January.
Well, with that being said, like those boxes in there, they're all land use board records, but they're almost a variety of one application, but there's so much thing, so that's not going into a filing cabinet, that just needs to be put into the storage facility and labeled correctly, which I think I see from here, they're all
You know what
labeled
we really need to
correctly.
do? We need to get an organizing professional to come into this building and reorganize the whole building.
Yeah.
Because I look at this room itself is, something needs to be
Well, we don't
done.
have enough space, that's the first problem. Not even, we don't have enough space to reorganize it.
Right.
You'd be surprised.
Well, again, here's a situation where the Legion's available, and if we don't really have to update it because we're going to turn it into offices or anything, it's probably affordable as a storage unit.
Actually,
Is that considered municipal building?
Well, it would be on municipal property if we bought it, right?
Oh, if you bought it?
Yeah, if we bought it.
Oh, I thought you said.
Yeah, I mean, because I think it can be had for a song and a dance, and the only reason that we're not
Oh, yeah.
is because it costs so much to renovate to make it
Yeah.
compliant.
Yeah.
But if we just bought it as a storage facility, maybe that works.
how about that, Mike?
It's
Yeah.
the same property.
Same
Put it all on
property,
one
yeah.
deed once we buy it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
All right, so
You have to
maybe
put
we
the footsteps
pursue
in
that again.
I
Yeah,
think that's a good idea.
All right.
yeah, I could reach out or.
Charlie Hinshaw's the new guy in charge, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why don't you reach out?
Yeah.
Because I know that they were hoping for something and then realized they weren't going to get anything, so
And
maybe,
he's always asking me why
Right.
we don't buy it.
Yeah, maybe I'll reach out to Charlie, maybe even if we bought it, to that back room, they might be interested in still.
And still using it, sure.
So maybe they lower the pricing and, give us so many years and we could use it.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's fine, I'll
All right,
give them.
all right, yeah.
And what about Danielle? How could we approve for her? He said she would start going through their stuff if we approve extra hours for her.
I thought we had approved the additional.
But, okay, I'm just making sure.
No, I don't, I voted on nothing tonight, wouldn't it?
So we don't need to do any motions for that record retention, right?
I just wanted permission by the phone, so you guys are buying my building, so.
Okay.
That worked out.
What else can we do?
Okay. Anybody else on the clerk's report?
Do you want to-
I do, I want, so what do I
We
say?
have a motion for what?
I'd like to make a motion to,
If you want to get Danielle started on the lease tax file, I don't know if you want to do that tonight or on the record, but.
Well, let's wait and discuss it executive with Piper when he comes.
okay. How about the filing cabinet? She said she needs permission
I
for
think
that.
I'm okay. That's not that much money, right?
Yeah, you don't need a resolution.
Okay.
Okay. So, that was the clerk's report. Court report, you have anything to say on it?
Nope, I'm good with that.
Animal control, anybody have anything?
Nope.
And the Board of Health report, everybody good with?
I do want to make a comment about the Board of, this is the most extensive Board of Health report I've ever seen, and it was actually a pleasure to read and see how much was being done. But I did notice in their Warren report that there are also people complaining to the Warren County Health Department with the same things that we're dealing with in zoning. 405 Daniel, the grass was too high, septic smells, high grass complaint at 613 South Main Street, overflowing garbage cans at the Greenwich Center, and that they've also followed up. So I'm probably going to reach out to these people to see, where there's some assistance there, because zoning is certainly challenged to try to deal with code violations and things of that nature. But this was, I don't know if they've got a new employee or just a transfer, but, I mean, there's a page back here about communicable diseases, and in Greenwich, there were, about the vaccines and the tick-borne, 9 tick-borne diseases reported out of Greenwich. And things. This is pretty darn extensive that I've never seen before. And I'd just like to give them kudos for it. Huh? It doesn't say it's signed by anybody. But with that being said, this was really good, and boy, I sure do hope that they follow up and continue with that, because up until even just a few months ago, you weren't even getting a paper report from it. So this is awesome.
The email that came with that, apologized for us not having a report every month and said that from now on, we're supposed to get this out to us every month.
Do you know who the email was from, or was it just at Board of Health? Okay, well, we'll follow up on it.
There's a director.
No, but this was spot on. I really liked it. It was really good.
Summers? The new guy, Summers? Is it Summers?
But anyway, that's what I have to say about the Warren County Board of Health.
I've been around a
report.
couple of years, I don't really know. Okay, we're good with that then? Okay, Chief, you're up.
Okay, monthly report, 990 calls in. Highest month for squad call 0.4. Over on the higher side of burglary is at 7, 12, disorderly conduct and harassment. On the higher side. And 4 juvenile incidents. 11 adult arrests, 2 juvenile arrests, 1 drunk driving arrest. It was noted that our drunk driving arrests are at 9 for the year so far. Last year we had 10 total, so we had the meeting in November, and which is usually a high month for drunk driving arrests. So guys did a good job out there enforcing that. 78 traffic stones is 13 cases assigned to the Detective Bureau, 5 cases paid by the arrest. We had a high month in fees collected with $615.55, and that is the majority from LexisNexis, our company that handles our accident reports, Max, and of course, they go online, they pay LexisNexis, and then we get a cut of that, and that check came for the 7 months of this estimate. Overtime report. Happy to say the overtime was pretty low for September. Only $4,152.98. That's the lowest it's been since since 2016. So probably got 50. Way down. Our total for the year, you'll see that at 113,963.77 cents. I had communicated with Brad and Kathleen about several companies that owed our police department for road jobs or details that we did for overtime. How it goes now is if the guys work a road detail, they put in the overtime, it's paid, and we bill the company, and then when the check comes in, Kathleen takes it, I think she puts it right into the payment. But there were some places that owed us money, and a majority of them said they sent the check, so we can Kathleen find out what happened. They said it was deposited, find out where it was. One place, they changed the address. I think it's JCP now, but it seemed like they changed their billing address almost every year. So I believe we just got that check from them. And with these checks that supposedly are issued in cash, it could be that these checks are sent to the wrong Greenwich in Boston County, which happens to us often. And they deposit the check, don't even look at where, if it's actually theirs or not, just says Greenwich Township Police Department, cash it, and we find out months later, the road job on 57, the bridge that was done there years ago, they owed us somewhere, it was like $50,000 that was paid and apparently was paid in the wrong name, so it took a long time to get this straightened out. I think that we're on track to get straightened out with Kathleen now. I followed up and then gave it to her, so I think hopefully get them all buttoned up for the end of the year.
Greenwich Township down there is not that big. They should have noticed the $50,000 check. Not much bigger than us, yeah.
I think they're like a 30-man department. So they're.
I'm surprised if they're even that, but
Yeah.
I don't care if a 30-man department should know when they
I
get
agree.
$50,000 check whether it's theirs or not.
The breakdown of the overtime, was there any questions? 5 personal days taken. Right at the end of the year. Any questions with that?
That's on the topic of the payments, I did talk to Kathleen about it, and I think the only ones really outstanding right now are mostly there's like 2 big ones from Montana, but they're pretty recent.
Montana just sent the check yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday.
The other thing I did talk to her about, and I think it's something that we need to discuss, is changing it for 2020, is that I personally don't think we're doing this right. And I think, Lillian, I think you may have even mentioned it once before. I think the proper way, and it's not, the police aren't doing it right, but it's on the accounting side, is we're supposed to, I believe we're supposed to do this like a developer's escrow.
Yes.
Correct.
And we're not doing it that way.
Especially when you have like a $50,000 account or something. I mean, if they know they're going to be there that long, we should
Yeah,
ask them.
we're not doing it right. And what we should be doing is we get the estimate from the police, they send it to the contractor, they pay us up front, goes in the trust, goes in escrow. Then, as the overtime is hit, you move it from that escrow to the payroll. So we're not chasing down vendors. We shouldn't be doing this. We're not a collection
You
agency.
can do that by ordinance, right?
Yes, there's something, rider, is it called, some kind of rider, I forget what it's called, but it's supposed to be done up front.
Can you research that first and come up with that?
And then we just have to get Kathleen to set up the trust account
Yeah.
separately, and we should make this
Yeah.
I assume
effective
that
when
there
one.
would be some kind of stipulation in there for emergency.
For emergency, yeah.
Yeah. And it's all the same factors are in there. I think the one thing we have to do, though, is when you set it that way, is you have to establish the rate. So, like, some towns will just set a one flat rate where you could take everyone's time and a half and do a flat rate, or you could do a time and a half and you have to specify the officer honor like we do now. And then there's the admin fee that gets added as well.
It would be great if we got a
It's easier, yeah. So you just do a blend of your officers that do it. And
Typically, what towns do is they just go off their sergeant rate. It's not
Oh.
the highest, it's not the lowest, it's right in the middle.
It's really your call how you
The
want to
only
set the
problem
rate.
is in the contract,
This is up. I think
anybody
this-
rank above sergeant isn't agreeing to it.
Although, but this though. I
Although you'd
think
make
is-
money on the patrolman that would offset that, so,
I think though this is outside the contract,
no,
my understanding.
no, you still, we'd have to
No,
have-
because it's off duty.
But it's negotiated through their contract. It's
My
a separate
understanding
line
is
item.
it's off duty. It's not.
Well, no,
The rate's
town's
not
insured
negotiated
them,
by
so
the-
they're technically, they're not, they're insured by the town, so if something happens, they're covering that.
Yeah,
That's what you're asking.
but I think the rate's not. You don't have to negotiate that through the contract. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not positive on that, but that's what.
But if we did go by a sergeant.
But either way.
We would get sergeant's pay for a patrolman working, which would offset when the lieutenant works. Because you're gonna pay the lieutenant more hourly rate.
Yeah. That's why you gotta pick your rate. If you do flat rate, or you can do it, I think you can do it just time and a half, basically.
Brad, I could get you everything that we have in Raritan because it's public and I could show you how they do it and how it gets broken.
Yeah, I don't need to be shown how, Kathleen needs to be shown how it's done,
Okay.
and, you know, whatever we have to do from an ordinance perspective. I just personally, when all this came up, I was like, why are we chasing down vendors? We
I
should be
agree.
doing it.
Should be in the front. Actually, the chief and I have talked about it a couple times. There are emergent circumstances, but we talked about that before, about trying to do an ordinance where they come in and give us the money first and then,
Yeah, it should be a lot simpler, and then you don't have to worry about it.
okay.
Do we have any update on the cameras at the park?
I had, Brad had reached out to me in email, I forwarded to Dave Cooper, asking him, you know, when he's ready, and he replied back, and I believe I forwarded to Brad, he's waiting for the brackets to come in for the license plate reader cameras on that pole. And, I said, okay, just give me, an update.
When do you think you'll have them in by? Do you have any estimate?
He did not get back to me.
It just sounded like he needed some special mounting bracket, but once he has that, he's gonna do that one plus
Plus,
other ones at the equipment shed.
yes, Brad had some locations covered that,
Yeah, we need one inside the shed and outside.
yeah. So, I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, that gets complete. I could reach out to him.
Well, maybe in the future, I would like to look into doing something in the back where the path is, where nobody can see people walking back there. I don't know, like
That's
the
gonna be
situation.
So we still have to address the wireless for that, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
If we do
saying,
that, then we-
I'm not saying do it now, but, I mean, I just don't like it back there, especially with the corners up or whatever. Anyway,
I'm just gonna, actually want to bring up, if I can just get approval again to, for the department, this day negotiate November next month, donating money for, fight against cancer, and, it's just a waiver of our personal insurance policy for them to do it, and, just asking support to make that.
Then would they grow the beard again?
Yes.
Yes, yes, the officers, donating money to participate. Last year we raised, I believe it was like around 1,200.
Yeah, that's great. It's good. I'll make the motion that we suspend the first trial policy for 1 month for that. Can we give it a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
That it, chief?
Chief, I got two questions.
Yes.
I noticed that the testing for the sergeant's exam, between the oral and the written, was, like $3,800. What's the process? Why? Is it being done by a private company?
Yes, so in our general order for the commercial process that actually Chief Does started years ago, we never had a policy, we just promoted whoever we wanted, so this kind of made it a lot more fair. It goes through our State Chiefs Association, and they have first a written testing, which is proctored by them, and that's the first half of that payment. And then the second half is an oral that is also a part of our policy, which is 3 chiefs from the state association that have to do all this way. It's not no bias. That's what we've done for our last 4 promotions.
I know, I was just kind of curious, I saw the bill for it, and I was just wondering,
Yeah.
I mean, for testing, I mean, I don't know if that's high or not, but, you know, I know for state employees and things like that, they take these tests that don't cost anything. I didn't know if there was an option there one way or another.
Yes, well, so if we're civil service, it's a whole different.
It's a whole different game? Okay, all right.
And that was included in my budget. However, since I submitted my budget, they increased the price for the testing a little bit, but I don't see any
Right.
problem with me going over budget at all, so.
No.
it's,
Okay, and then my last question is, I see 9810 got towed, and that's a 2017 Explorer. What, accident?
Yes, it's back on the road now.
Got it. All right. That's it?
Good? Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to accept the consent agenda for the police department, Department of Public Works report, township clerk's report, court report, the animal control officer's report, and the Warren County Board of Health report. You want to make the motion?
I make the motion.
You want a second?
Second it.
We already had questions, comments, and discussion. Anybody have anything left? Roll call? Yes.
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 Hey, Mike.
Where'd he go?
Oh, I was gonna move him up, let him do his report, so he can leave his, does anybody need him for, executive? Anybody, any reason to need Mike for executive?
Executive? No, I mean, I just want to get an update on the roads.
Okay, that's what I mean, so we'll do that first, then we'll go to executive, we'll take care of Jim, so Jim's gonna leave. So when Mike comes in, ma'am, are you waiting for public comment? Okay, so after we do the engineer, I'll do public comment, so you can do it, I'm not throwing you out, but you're probably tired of listening to,
Yeah, because there's another hour of this yet.
Oh, when I asked you about the, motion, I thought you did too, but that's okay, we can do it.
For what?
Yeah, I think we did it for bills, but we didn't do it for taxes.
Because I actually.
No, we didn't do it for tax and sewers, I set it aside when I saw you
Okay.
do it.
Mike, we're gonna handle you, because then when we go to executive, you can leave, we won't tie you up, so go ahead and do your report.
Okay. The pavilion, there was authorization given last month, to go out to bid. It was the open space meeting where we talked about the process. That was earlier this month. Received a number of comments back from various parties. Primarily, the most were provided by Mark Carey and actually Pat from our office. So, we're finalizing the spec now, and it should go out to bid next week, I would think. And I know we talked about the timing, we're gonna take it into the spring, so,
Yeah,
so,
so what are you gonna put in there for the completion date? Because we actually didn't discuss that, did we?
well,
We discussed it at OS.
there's
but
not
we
actually a
didn't-
completion date, there's a duration of time. That's-
Okay.
So, if we're gonna have a bid opening, let's say in December, I think we should leave it, I don't know why we should rush.
I don't,
I don't know, 6 months, that gives somebody plenty of time.
so December would give us about, what, 6 to 8 weeks where the bid's out?
Yeah, that would be,
So
yeah. they'd be
bid
out
opening,
almost-
and then you give them, it's like 180, do you do it in days?
In days.
Like 180
Or,
days?
Yeah, days.
I'm fine with that. The
I-
thought on that
I know we
was-
said definitely let it run through, into the spring anyway.
Yeah, I think that the idea was to give extra time on this one so that anyone who may have other jobs going on early in the spring, they could put it in, or there's nothing that says they can't do it earlier. So if they have the capacity and the weather's agreeable, they could put it in over the winter.
They sure could. Well, then maybe we should think about not leaving it out to bid that long. If let's say theoretically, it's in the paper next week, so that's the end of October. We could have a bid opening, let's say, a week before Thanksgiving, and they could theoretically start in December. Really.
When's our November meeting?
The 14th.
Moved it.
Yeah, moved it, yeah.
Wednesday the 13th.
No, we really can't do it for that. So when's the December meeting, the 19th? I'm just thinking when we would approve, award, I should say, the bid. We can't do it for November.
No, it's not happening.
I mean, the soonest we could do,
Let's do the bid opening the second week of December, or,
Yeah, then we
and
get
we'll
award-
it at the December
the
meeting.
19th meeting, yeah.
That sounds- Yeah, because again, we're
Second week of
not awarding it
December,
in November, that's just not happening, we moved up especially, so.
yeah, since we're not gonna award it in November, then there's no reason to end it earlier than
So,
second week of
so,
December.
So, fine, there, that's the, end. It's kind of answers its own question, so,
Okay.
that's the way we'll work. Then we'll give a decent duration of time.
And then 100, is everybody okay with it given 180 days from the time of award? Is that how it is? From the time of award?
Yes.
Or- okay.
I'm okay with that.
So that would be like end of May-ish.
Yes, yep, end of May.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. We shall proceed. Water main project, we talked a lot last month about it. Obviously, right now, they are in the process of doing two things primarily. Finishing up the final parts of the main in Franklin on Stewartsville Road. And starting to make the connections and the lateral runs to the actual individual homes in Greenwich. So that will be going through the winter, I would imagine. The roadway resurfacing project, actually, this is our 2019 roadway resurfacing. As you recall, we switched gears, and actually it's been going nicely. There's 3 roads we're doing: Kennedy Mill, Robert Place, and Warren Way. There was curb repair that needed to be done. That's done on Robert Place. Looked at it the other day. Looks did a nice job. Talked to Tocon just the other day, and they are coming into mill the beginning of November and then pave the following week. So we should be wrapped up within a few weeks with the whole project. So
Everything will be done before Thanksgiving.
it sure should be. I mean, that's per what we were told yesterday. And the only other thing, I don't know if you want to bring this up now or what, was the Paul Opelosticus stuff. Is that, I know I put something.
No, it's something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a rough name, man.
No.
My wife is correct, too. Okay, behind Paul's property, okay, Paul lives on Leah Lane, and his property abuts the park. Okay,
Which part?
Thomas Stewart.
Okay, Lee Lane is,
Leah Lane is the cul-de-sac, the Dominic Esposito.
He,
Okay.
if you're looking at the property line from the park,
yeah,
he's the home closest to Greenwich Street.
Besides the one right
Okay.
on the end.
Okay,
on the
yeah.
front.
Oh, he's the one with the chairs?
Yeah, he's the one that maintains the chairs.
has
right,
chairs
right,
there?
yes,
Yes,
yes, that would be it, yes.
Okay.
Okay. We did some drainage work on his property, if you recall, we gave him 3 trees, whatever. Okay, there's a wet spot that, because of the berm that was built and so forth, it really does not drain anywhere, it's kind of ponds. And this is on our property, but it's right behind his property, and it's been, it's been inquiring for a long time about the town fixing it. So, and I know he's been in contact with Frank to a limited degree about it. primarily with myself. Pat, and Joe Mexi met out at the site the other day, looked at it, and basically, what I'm looking for is an approval from you guys for this work. Basically, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at about $500 worth of materials, which would include an inlet and some pipe, and the DPW would do the work, and Joe estimates about a day and a half. So it's a day and a half of DPW work, which would include installation of an inlet, installation of a pipe, and not very far, connection to an existing manhole, it's like 15, 20 feet, and then regrading and reseeding.
What's the problem?
It's, after the berm was built, there's just an area that ponds that cannot get regraded to drain anywhere where it needs to go.
And it's on the park property.
And it's on the park property.
So how does it affect the property owner?
Now, you can't have pooling water on the property line there.
It's not on
Especially,
his property though. I mean, if
it
we
wasn't
were
there-
pulling water there, that's
but it wasn't
fine.
there before.
And he does, as you said, he's the guy with the chairs in the backyard along the property line, so he actually kind of utilizes that area more so than, I think, the other.
I don't think
three
any of us
properties.
would, I don't think any of us would have the intent, whether it's accidental or intentional, of making a park where there's gonna be water pooled on the property line behind somebody's property. I don't think any of us would want that.
No, I'm not suggesting.
But that's what happened. We built the park, the water pooled. So we gotta
But he
alleviate.
sent a bunch of pictures, I could pass them around, if you're
I mean, but how long is it pouring for? Is it like immediately after the rain and then it goes away, or is it something that sits there for months?
No, it need, in between what you said, it doesn't sit there for, it depends on the.
Well, I was gonna say, in the spring, when we were having that rainy stretch, it did sit there a while. It was very noticeable by me personally. I recognized it a lot. Now, it hasn't been there because we've been dry for a good stretch, but in the spring, early summer, you could clearly see that there was a ponding going on there. A very large
So-
pond.
So when you're gonna put an inlet, where's it gonna go then?
There happens to be a manhole that we built for the park, which connects into a pipe, an existing pipe, which is in the rear of his property. There's a large drainage pipe that was put in as part of the Wyndham Farm drainage improvements, way back when. He's got a drainage easement on his property at the back end for this pipe.
So who owns that pipe? Who owns, we do.
We
Okay.
do.
So we're not going onto his property to
No,
do this?
well, technically we are, but it's in an easement. No, we are completely within our rights to make this connection. It's the park property, here's the park property line. The easement runs right along with the park property line, and that's the pipe we're gonna connect into.
Do we need, like, anything to, from the property owner to do that?
No, if we have an easement, then, if it's on a pipe and we have an easement to do work on the pipe, then we're okay. Because the only thing we're doing is, I assume, connecting through that
We're
easement,
not-
using the drainage easement for drainage.
We're popping in a
Yeah.
10 or 12-inch pipe into an existing 24. We're just bang, done. It's a.
And there's no chance of backflow where that could come from that pipe back up to the park where you're gonna put that in?
Oh, God, no, oh, God. No, this is, no. No.
Joe's had this conversation with me too. He feels it's a fairly simple remedy after he met out there.
So
with
then we'll make a
Mike's.
motion to do it?
I'll make a motion to approve Mike to do it.
Anybody want a second?
Yeah, it won't be really, it's gonna be Joe's.
Oh, well, for Joe to do it, and Mike work with him, huh? Yeah, coordinate.
Cal will be out there.
Yeah.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
You have any other questions on it? You good, Lily? Roll call? Yes.
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 Okay, last thing, on the park. I don't know who's seen, but the striping was recently redone, so hope everybody's pleased with that, glad it's finished. Last two remaining things are the trees. The trees along the county road, which I'll call the Sampson trees, are going to be replaced next week. Aspen, which is the evergreens along the berm, that will be done either next week or the following week, but we've been promised for a long time ago, actually, before the end of October. So, we are as close as we've ever been to being, like, pretty much, at least from a contractual standpoint, done with the park.
So when is Aspen coming? This month?
Rutgers,
Rutgers is
next
Sampson
week.
next week, and
Next
then
week.
Aspen's coming.
Aspen is either, could be next week or the following week,
Okay.
but before the end of the month.
So both sets of trees, different contractors by the end of the month.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And then, so the painting's done, so my only other question I have is, when do we get the CO? Because we can get the CO now.
yes.
We don't need
has nothing to
the
do
trees
with
don't have
the
anything to do with it, right?
Well, who has been the kind of like who's coordinating with DCA really?
It was Mark, but it shouldn't be Mark, it's gotta be Joe, right?
Well,
So Joe's just gotta schedule him to come down and do the final
yeah,
inspection, right?
okay.
Yeah, so we
Don't
just
be
need to
the-
ask
who's
Joe.
The ones who talk to Joe, I mean, I can just tell them.
Yeah, just both, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll talk to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like the last
Yeah.
checkbox on the park.
Let's get it done.
Lightning
the-
round, Mike, lightning round, remember that.
The pavilion is not.
What's going on with the stop sign at Greenwich Church Road? Lightning.
After we spoke the other day, I tried to get a hold of Bill Gleba again. I couldn't get a hold of him. I spoke with Joe, their traffic guy. And Joe said that Bill's got a concern that, two things. That A, there's a disproportionate amount of traffic that at the various legs of that three-way stop, and it's not gonna function properly. That's one. And two is, we're putting this up theoretically as a temporary measure, so to speak. He says it won't end up being a temporary measure. Once you put a stop sign up, you're not gonna take it down. So, this was just yesterday when I spoke with Joe, and I couldn't get Bill and I talked to Joe. So, I think, Bob, for our discussion the other day, you should talk to the freeholders.
Yeah, I reached out to the one that are coming to this again, and he just texted me today, he's been busy all week, I'm gonna talk to him in the morning, that's why I wanted to know. So I know.
But there's your answers. Bill has a couple issues.
I don't even see a problem with that being a three-way stop forever.
Me either.
Well,
I agree with you.
I-
That's
I-
the one he's going
I
with.
really don't see a problem with it. Especially, and the traffic will be down anyway, so it's, but
oh my God.
I don't see a problem with that forever, but.
Well, I think he's right. I mean, once you put a stop sign up.
Well, I thought his concern was, it would be legitimate, that if you do it for the year, then when you take it down.
Well, no, that's not what Joe
Yeah.
relayed to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I thought one of the concerns, and that would be somewhat legitimate too, because once you undo something, then you start, it causes other problems, Okay,
Well,
you have something else?
yeah, but I don't want Mike to try to rip through this here pretty quick. I forward you the address for the new state representative for the sign at 173 and 3. Have you made contact to them? Have you sent them?
I have not.
All right, so you want to do that
I'm sorry.
sooner versus later.
Yep.
The solar on the light poles. Remember we talked about Mercer County had it? Have you checked?
I talked to Stan,
Okay.
and Stan basically said that they would be agreeable to that, upgrade, but obviously.
But they're not the ones that do it. There's,
Yeah.
a solar company's doing it.
Right,
Okay.
so,
All right, so we can track that down. And I need you and Mike, only because I saw yous were both tagged in here on the bills, and Mike was gonna do this for me anyway.
okay.
As quick as you can, update us on January.
Oh, Jim, okay.
Well, guys, I got residents asking right now, and most everybody, other than the dog noise, has been considerably down this year, but nobody's seen anything done.
Okay. There's been a few meetings over the past couple of months. Mark Peck, January's attorney, Larry Cohen from Mike's office, their engineer, Wayne Ingram, and myself. Okay. Finally kind of came to a resolution of what was gonna happen when they sent in a revised plan, which I got, I'm gonna say, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. They wanted our approval, and it really just reflects what was approved back in 2015.
2015, yeah.
Okay, the 2015 plan, the 2015 approved plan. with some upgraded, light fixtures and things like that, the more current light fixtures. So they basically need my approval and they're gonna go get it done. And I said just yesterday afternoon, coincidentally, Mark Peck emailed me and said, hey, where you at, you know, how's it going? And I said, well, it looks good, which it does, the plans. I said, I'm gonna take one more look at it and I'll give you an answer by the end of the week. So they should be out there very soon.
All right.
I'm gonna give my update on that in executive.
Okay. All right. Because,
Pending litigation.
okay. All right.
No, because Mike just said, I talked to Larry, because, when even Bean had emailed me, he filled me in, and then Mike said his part, which was that they did submit the
Got it,
plan,
okay.
takes
Are
it
we
back
gonna
to
go
the
into
last
executive on
approval,
that?
and then I got some.
All right.
Just like one
Got
more
it.
thing.
Okay.
All
All right, that's fine. Then we're good with Mike and we can do the open public.
one more thing.
Yo, yeah, I forgot to ask. On the road, repaving, what do we call it? Overlays. Can you give us, what's your estimate for your offices so that we can set like a not to exceed on it? Do you have an estimate for that, or if you can get us one?
I can get you one, it's not gonna, I mean, not the majority of work, because they have to pay. The lion's share of our work is really done, it's all coordination with these co-op subs. And so now, there's three phases of work on this project this year. There's the curb repair, which is done, there's milling, and then there's resurfacing. The resurfacing being obviously the big part. The milling is gonna be a day, probably, maybe a day and a half, and the resurfacing will be probably 2 days. So if we have about there half time, so it's 3 days, 2 half time, and as I said, we got the half-hour day, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500, including overtime, not a lot. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, for a $220,000 roadway, that's what we're talking about.
Well, we have, the budget's 307, right? And the budget we set for overlays this year, included, it's everything, includes all the other fees. But then, well, we should talk, because, well, I think we already got stuff in that was.
There was a $1,900 bill for 2019 road resurfacing, and another $1,100 bill was
Yeah, so it's three.
for road resurfacing.
So it's 1,000 more?
No, there have to be 2 different jobs. You sure the other one was Stewartsville Road?
Well, I believe it,
Because that's the DOT grant, which we have to develop those plans to get them in to award the money to save the grant.
right, but hasn't that already been covered once before, though? When you originally did the plans to get the grant?
Oh, no. All we do is a little 8.5 by 11. Just for to go along with the application. Then when you awarded the monies, then you gotta develop construction drawings to submit to the DOT to get approval, so you can go out to bid, or go to the co-op. Since now we're under the gun, if you remember the letter we talked about this last month, we've got to award this by, I think it's February of of 2020, just to preserve the monies we got in the grant. So to do that, we have to actually develop the plan, get them shipped to the DOT, get their approval, and then, so that's completely separate than the 2019 roadway research.
So the 3 roads, Roberts, Kennedy, no, what was the third one?
Lauren.
What's, for those 3, what do we need to set aside for your offices?
Okay, you want, how about $2,500?
Okay.
Finish it out.
All right. To finish it, or total? Is that everything, start to finish?
Well, no, that's from now.
Now
That's-
forward.
Yeah. And again, that's a seat of the pants, that's assuming, you know, Pat's out there for a good chunk of
So
time.
it's from
when they're
work
paving and
from-
whatnot, it probably shouldn't even be that much.
All right, so from today, 10/17 on.
And also, our estimate for the costs for those 3 roads is approximately like $225,000. So we're not even close to the 300 change.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll just carry that into
Well,
next year.
right, and then we know we're gonna need to, for next year,
Okay.
work, you know, with the, water main.
All right, so 2,500 more from now. That's all right, thank you. Appreciate it. Yep.
Frank said he might need you in executive, so you might just stay. Okay,
For about, you know,
I'll make a motion, we open public comment. Anybody want to make a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to come up to the podium?
I'm not sure if, you can help us. My name is, Richie. I live at 150 Riviera Road, and I don't know if you're familiar with that road.
Mhm.
It's below to moderate income, and I'm on a condo board. I've been on a condo board for about, I would say about 8-9 years. And, the trend has not been that great. We've come to a lot of problems like drainage. We don't have a drainage system. We've had multiple problems with the drainage system. We tried to keep afloat, but not raising our fees and raising our ground fees, things like that. We separated from the homes about 2 years ago. We can't separate totally because in the bylaws it says we're still connected. So the 500 homes we're still connected. There's 70 units. So we've been trying to figure out our drainage system for quite a few years. We probably should have addressed this with you quite a few years ago, but we tried to battle this on our own. So we had an engineer, and he came to us and he said that somebody signed off about 20 years ago our drainage system, so we don't have one. And we tried a French drain in a home. We tried a drainage with rocks. We tried multiple different kinds of drainage. That has depleted our money, basically. Now it's 20 years later. We need roofs. We need driveways. We need quite a few things. And I wasn't sure if you're able to help us with that. Like I said, we tried multiple things. Now our monies have been depleted, and I just wanted to come to see how we can work together if possible.
So, is the 70 units there, is that a separate homeowners association from the rest of Greenwich Chase?
So we pay monthly 140, and then we pay 285 with the big homes.
Per year?
285 per year,
So
but 140 monthly.
Okay.
Right. So, we have quite a few homes that are vacant. We cannot move them as well. We had one home that finally, after 10 years, it's being sold. So we have quite a few homes that are not paying because they're in foreclosure, or quite a few people, my neighbors died, the family's trying to sell them. They're just not moving. They're not moving at all. So they're in arrears, and it's not a lot. It's a couple thousand, but still it makes our dues go up and up. So it makes our funds go down. So we have so many different things that are going on with the homes, and I'm not really sure if you have any ideas, anything that could help us. Obviously, we're going to have to up our fees. But there's a lot of seniors there, there's a lot of young families there, and they just, especially the seniors, we have quite a few seniors that we can't raise the rate because they can't afford it. That's the main thing.
When you say drainage, is that inside the house or outside the house?
We have no drainage. So my home itself.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What I'm saying is outside the house, we only have, these homes only have this grate system that leads out to the streets. When the homes were built, they were flooding inside the homes with our sump pump. So quite a few, couple of houses, 3, that have the drainage, the water drains into, that goes to the street. Now, the homes that are butts against Dumont are being flooded. And the one home in the back needed a French drain, so we've tried a French drain, we tried the rocks, we tried the drainage system, we tried everything to put a Band-Aid. Everything's a Band-Aid, and now we do need those drainage systems, and I thought they were like $5,000 or $6,000 just to put those in out to the street. So that's a big chunk of change, because we need our roofs. So we're not really sure what direction to go in. And, like I said, we have nothing. We have some things for our roofs, but we need, like I said,
How old are the homes there?
20 years, coming on 20 years.
Which, with that being said too, the Greenwich Chase itself is also struggling, not struggling, those homes are 20 years also. New driveways, new roofs and things like that, for the rest of the complex. So the roofs and the driveway is not a unique situation to
No, I don't think so.
that situation. I'm kind of a little bit familiar, well, that's what I was about ready to ask, I wasn't saying anything.
Because they actually own those homes, they're homeowners.
No, right, exactly.
It's only for the
Common areas, right, and certain other maintenance things. Have you reached out to the HOA?
I think they're in the same.
The HOA, the Homeowners Association
Homeowners.
in Greenwich
I don't know if
Chase?
they're part of it.
We have, they
Yeah,
have,
she just
they
said they're
had
part
it
of it.
taken, and they went with somebody else.
Yeah, there's a new company up
The
there.
homeowners association isn't
But they
responsible for
never,
this.
we supposed to have
the
a
Greenwich Chase
seat
area.
on their board,
I
we're
think
supposed
it's
to be
70.
voted, and
What's
they,
the
we don't
140
even know
left for?
who's involved in their association, so we're not really sure, but we could reach out, but what are they gonna really do for us? They haven't done anything, and they think they can.
Well,
What does the 140 per month cover for the 70 units in that area?
Our grass,
Uh-huh.
it's supposed to go into a reserve for our roofs and our siding.
Okay, so it does cover the outside.
You own your homes,
We don't have enough monies in our.
but you own the homes here, don't you?
Sorry.
But aren't they
You own,
connected?
you own your homes.
They're connected
Oh,
though.
the inside, we don't own the.
Oh, you only own from the wall in?
So it's like a townhome or a
Yes.
condo
Okay.
association where
Right.
I thought they were outright owned, I didn't
those
realize.
fees go in and then, you
And
know,
we can't remortgage unless we're with the state, that's another problem we have. We can't remortgage unless you go to the state. I've tried it multiple times. So it's.
You have to go to the state for permission to remortgage, you have to mortgage with them.
Right, we have to
HFMA,
remortgage with the
whatever
state,
it
right.
so who's the treasurer of your HOA? I mean, the last 20 years, that reserve should have been building up for the roofs. So
Right, we were Integra, and Integra was supposed to be managing our money.
So we're,
And,
sounds like you got a lawsuit with Integra.
well, we're a small homeowners, we're poor, we don't have. a
No,
lot
I
of
know,
money.
but I'm just saying, like, if you
And
guys have been
we
putting
carried that on forever.
$140 a month per unit
It's
for 20 years.
$9,800 a month if everybody was paying.
No,
Yeah.
not everybody's paying
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
For 20 years,
You know,
I
the
mean,
point being-
that's 200 grand.
yeah, it's like $117,000 a year.
A year.
Well, that's.
Oh,
what-
a
What
year, I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying is
Sorry.
somebody,
No, wait, 70 units, 140 a
$2
month.
million.
Yeah, like, there should be money in there for the
Well, thing is
roofs.
that we had 16,000 a year for our grass. Then we have, 15 for our association fee, like Access or Integra, they get their fee.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's 2.3 million over 20 years. Where's the money?
Yeah, where's-
So we have this new company,
Yeah.
right, we have this new company now, and there's really, we're in bad standing, basically.
I mean,
Yeah, but where's the $2 million?
who's your auditor for, who does your paperwork, who's your auditor for the homeowners association?
Well, we have to go through, that's the whole problem, I don't know them, I don't know. So we're gonna go through Access, and we spoke to them, but we need a new lawyer, we need a new everything.
I don't know.
you know, I would
Well,
like any state, like, there's gotta be somebody that
Yeah.
can mortgage finance authority or something, because if something doesn't
So,
smell right.
it doesn't
Right.
sound right.
And with that being said, I can put you in touch with the homeowners association folks. I mean, I know who's on the board. They communicate with me regularly on things and stuff like that. So if you want to exchange some information.
But it sounds like she's saying they're not part of that home, they have their
No,
own.
they are.
Well, no, they
Oh,
pay
are?
a common fee plus their own fee.
They have their own homeowners association, plus they pay the other one.
Divide ourselves from them.
Oh, okay,
What
so
do-
you're
what-
with them and you also have your
Yeah,
own?
what do they get from, what do you get from the other homeowners association for that $85 a year? whatever?
285.
$285.
The privilege of being
You
part
get
of
to
that
use the
homeowners-
tennis courts or something like that? Yeah. they
Yeah,
use
right. I mean,
The tennis courts and
The
that
tennis
stuff,
courts and-
yeah.
Walkway.
And on the
I've
walkway.
been reading the bylaws, and, it seems like somebody was supposed to cut our grass, that it's supposed to be in with.
The
I don't know,
280,
if I'm
the
reading it
285?
correctly. I need a new lawyer, because we weren't supposed to be having our, I guess the common ground is supposed to be the homeowners association. I don't know how things got screwed up over 20 years. I really don't.
How long have you been there?
And
You're a 20-year resident?
I've been here before Home Depot.
Hmm.
So, I've been here for a while. But, you know, I was born and raised here. But I had.
No, I'm just asking, were you there for the whole 20 years? That's why my
No,
point.
about 8 years, 8, 9 years. And I like it there. I really do. It's a nice community, you know, nice neighborhood.
I'm perplexed how there's no money for the roofs or the siding. I really am.
Even if only half paid, that's almost 60 grand a year.
I mean, it makes
First
sense
thing you
that
gotta
there
do is
be
get
no
an audit.
funds. You gotta,
So what I'm saying is they still take their 20,000 out a year
who takes 20,000 out?
for access.
The management company.
fee, okay,
And then we take out 16 for our lawns.
okay.
So that's 36,
And then we
right?
have other things that need to be.
But you're
updated.
collecting 117,000 a year.
They plow your driveways?
No.
Oh, no.
So 140 times 12 times
Doesn't
70.
include trash, doesn't include water and sewage.
So 117,000 is collected a year. You pay 20 to the management company, and you pay 16 for lawn. That's $81,000 left per year.
Right,
Where is it?
right, that's exactly right.
If that's what
Yeah.
you'd like to know.
You got
Yeah,
that-
well, I can't help you with that.
You get some help from like fair share housing.
Yeah, someone's gotta.
Yeah. I was gonna say, why don't
Either
you,
someone's not telling you the truth, or
We have a
Or
new
the-
manager in there now that's.
yeah,
$1.6 million.
there's got to be money out there. I can't believe there would be.
Even after
Yeah,
all that, so,
unfortunately, there's really nothing the municipality can do, like, we don't have money we can get to fix roofs or the drainage.
No, it wasn't more for the roofs, it's more for the drainage system since it was signed off in the plans.
Well, the problem is, it's private property, so the town can't go accepting, you know.
Whose property?
Your property.
Are you talking about exterior drainage, or are you talking about interior?
No, exterior
or-
drainage.
Yeah, but even that's but to your point, Mike, it's, you know, if I have a drainage problem with
yeah,
my
there's bad
property,
grading.
What do I
It's
do?
all through the chase. It's bad grading, Mike. You know,
I go to
right?
the town and ask. That's why I'm not saying the other guys,
Right.
should have, you know, it's our property, but
I mean, she's not talking about an uncommon problem in a lot of the chase.
Right.
But, ma'am, can I have your first name
Colleen, COLLEN,
and a contact number?
484-515-5835.
I was thinking,
I'll reach out to the folks that I know on the HOA tomorrow and just run by a couple of things, and I'll get them your phone number, and maybe that'll help you. That, it's not a cure, but maybe you'll get one more step in the right direction.
yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I don't think, thank you.
No, well, it's a start.
Right, exactly.
But otherwise, I thought our attorney gave some great advice, fair share housing,
yeah.
because those folks are pretty darn serious about your community.
What, you gotta get an audit, though.
Yeah, well, somewhere, right.
We're supposed to have one every year, and we have an assessment almost every 2. So I don't understand what happened to this money. And Integra was mismanaging money for a long time, and I guess the houses up in the 500 houses figured that out a little bit later too. So, I don't know. It's just a hard situation.
All right, well, like I said, I'll follow up with them, I'll try to follow up with you,
All right,
and,
thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Good luck with everything.
yeah. I don't know anything else we can do.
and maybe give you a pretty good attorney, get it tight with the fair housing.
Anyone else want to make any comments? You good?
Thanks,
Okay.
have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
I'll make a motion to close public comment,
I'll second.
and I'll make a motion, we go into executive session for pending litigation regarding sewer contractual matter with the police contract personnel, for DPW and proposed public officials resolution,
And affordable housing.
and affordable housing. Anybody want a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I was hired by a couple
Officials resolution.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm with you.
That was actually up to you anyway.
He's done. time, so we're gonna have to.
Recommended last month that we
Yeah.
might wanna do it, but,
Okay.
oh, I do it.
I'll make a motion, we come out of private executive session.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mike?
Yes, we went to executive session at 10:34 PM where we discussed, pending litigation, which was January Kennels, contractual matter dealing with the police contract. I don't think we discussed the disciplinary policy, did we? No. And then, affordable housing, some attorney-client privilege, matters dealing with that. No official action was taken. Copies of these minutes will be available at such time as the committee determines there is no harm to the public interest. Mr. Mayor, I think we just need a motion.
Yep, I'll make a motion that we authorize the attorney to take action as discussed in executive session.
Second,
Any other comment, question, discussion here? Roll call.
Lillian stepped out.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for Lily, I guess, for the roll call.
Oh, in the meantime, should we laugh at it?
You know.
Yeah, the short term, I saw that it was here for discussion again, but we already discussed it. So I think we need to,
actually held that because, Paul wasn't here last month, and I think you were waiting for people to get more.
We did hold
I
it.
thought no one weighed in.
no, we didn't hold it. We said, here it is, look it over, and we were hoping that we could go ahead and,
Well, it looks like we
Pass
have to
it.
discuss it. Let's finish this motion. Okay, Melanie, while you're out, motion was made to authorize the attorney to take action as discussed in executive session. It was seconded, and she's gonna do roll call.
Okay.
Yes.
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 No.
Okay.
All right, so back to this.
Yeah.
We had, the meeting before last, we had the whole discussion on this, and that's how John came up with this. So we already discussed it, and we only had a vote. I think Paul voted no originally on it. Then he came up with this and presented it at the last meeting. And what I said at that meeting was, just take a look, because at the next meeting, I'd like to introduce it. It's basically everything that we had told him to do in the meeting, 2 meetings ago. So, I don't know what else we're gonna discuss. It's the stuff that we've already discussed.
So does this become part of, does this become a new ordinance, Mike?
Yeah.
Or does this get attached to an existing one?
That's the-
Short-term rental, yes.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So are we
my question
introducing
was,
it?
You had asked if anybody had any other comments to get them to John Gross, so we could actually put this into ordinance form.
He didn't do that, I guess.
No,
Okay.
because, so as far as I knew,
Okay.
Paul has wanted to be part of the discussion, and B, nobody got any changes to me.
All right, I don't know that there's a discussion, then. We just need to get him, unless somebody wants to talk about it. I think we've already,
I just
I
want to
think,
keep it on.
I don't have anything else
Just
to
want to
say.
get an ordinance number for next
Yeah,
month.
just want to get it, I'll tell John then to put it in ordinance form. Is that what we need to do? Or we just gonna put an ordinance number on this?
Well, can we take a straw poll here to see if it's even, before we spend any money on it, to see if this is gonna pass?
We already took a vote on it. It was 4-1. You voted no. That's how we got John to draw this up.
So we changed it so that it was 90 days, right, was the limit?
Yeah,
So they couldn't do anything less than a 90-day lease.
right.
And so one of the only exceptions was if
If they're
There was,
gonna, if somebody's gonna buy it,
there was a transaction.
yeah.
Yeah. So the question is whether or not you want to prohibit completely Airbnb type things in the town.
Well, we already discussed that.
I know, I'm just summarizing.
I don't think that's a question, though. That's what we already discussed and had John draw
Well,
up.
again, I was against it originally, and I'm even more against it now after seeing the ones in Powhatan Township. And we've got at least 10 properties in Greenwich that they're not planning on being, but would be, I would hate to all of a sudden rule that out. Besides where Rob Pianelli is, we have some awesome old stone farmhouses and things like that that could be converted into this. And I would hate to restrict people who own these properties that might renovate them.
They can rent them, it's gotta be 90 days.
Well, that's not how an Airbnb works. And the Finnegans are the ones, the primary owners of the 2 in Powhatan Township. It was beautiful. I would just hate to restrict these 5 or 6 homeowners that live in Greenwich Township that have these historic buildings from potentially doing that.
So, Is there a way then we could put, and it's a question for Mike, with,
Do they live next door to people?
Yeah,
Then why wouldn't you restrict them? The whole purpose is to protect the neighbors, so they don't become hotels next door to residential
well,
places.
that A, B, and B things kind of worked out all out on their own, you know?
What do you mean?
Well, they have rules and regulations about who can, who can't, and it's not becoming a hotel.
Sure it is. If you could stay 1 or 2 nights, it's a hotel, in my opinion. You know, and it's caused problems in other towns too. You may see a good thing happening there, but there's also lots of problems too. I know me personally, if I had a house next door to me that somebody's not even living in and they're just making money on Airbnb, and I don't know who my neighbor is, and I got little kids, say, and I don't know who's living there day to day, I'm not liking it, you know? And this is the same argument I made.
Could those
Two meetings
places
ago.
come in to the land use board for variances on this? This is gonna be a zoning law, right? So if somebody had like a historical property, wanted to make their pitch, but then if they reverse that for them, would that be considered spot zoning? I mean, are we just spinning our wheels?
Well, I think the cost of coming through the land use board, getting a variance is huge. I mean, it's minimum $8,000.
It's not approved, so you limit.
Well, again, I'm only one vote, I'm just throwing that out there. I thought that there was some other...
It's a good point, though, when you bring it up, because, you know, that, the old Gary, was it Gary Farm down there by 78, that was always...
No, right,
that was
right.
bed and
Yep,
breakfast, and
yep.
They did, you know, it's a nice building.
And right across from it, I mean, that's
Yeah,
got
the
Shirley Temple history there, the movies.
Yeah.
So you want people staying there for 1 or 2 nights? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't a 90-day...
No, I get... all right, I'm going to be even more specific. I had family just come out from Arizona to my daughter's wedding 2 weeks ago. They stayed at this Airbnb down there for 4 nights, and it was a great opportunity. It saved them half the cost of a hotel. You know, it was $125 a night, and 2 couples split it. You know, plus there was and the Finnegans.
That was a B&B.
No, right, exactly. And the Finnegans have put so much effort into recreating this beautiful piece of property. I just know that we have some stone houses, the places that you're referring to. Even the Pinelli, even though Rod's added on to it.
How do you stop the non-stone houses that are in the...
I don't know. I don't have that answer,
Yeah.
but I don't think this form I can get behind right at this particular time.
Well, this is the same argument you pretty much made last time.
Well, yeah,
And
but
I'm
I've seen
making
it
my
work
same
better since
argument,
then, right?
so let's take a straw poll.
Can I just ask a question? Mike, is there a way where you can put stipulation on like where it's a historical type home? Like, can you allow it for certain types or ages or sizes, or, you know, put some kind of, or does that become like, you know, not discriminatory, I don't know if it's the right word, preferential, you know?
Yeah, like, I understand what you're trying to do, but I guess, you know, you gotta have a valid public and then what's the definition?
Right.
So you just go to register, and then it's like, okay, well, why is that appropriate for like an Airbnb use or a short-term rental use versus something else? And I understand why, you know, it's like, well, we wanna promote those, but...
Or what about like in a population zone? Like, and I don't know that our town has zones. So, you know, density population.
You could zone, but you could create in certain zones. You know, I just don't know where.
I agree with Frank's point, because like, and it's usually in these developments.
He's in the type of neighborhood.
Yeah, like a development like mine, or yours, or Greenwich Chase, like, you don't want your neighbor who's 15 feet away from you doing an Airbnb. But I also agree with Paul, where you got like a nice historical house that's on a farm who's away from people.
Well, we took a look and said, all right, like, let's say your developments are in an R1 zone, or whatever that designation is, right? So we don't permit them in those zones, but you permit them in, like, I don't know what your downtown, you know, Stewartsville is, where you have some of the old houses, but whatever zone, if that's something other than R1, you could say they're permitted in that zone, but they're not permitted anywhere else. Or you could make them conditional uses in certain zones, you know, and say that you gotta meet this criteria. But, yeah, you could do that, depending on how your zoning's set up. Like, again, I'm not that familiar with the zoning map, but if you had some of these other places that were desirable that weren't like in a Greenwich Chase or, you know, one of the other developments around town, yeah, you could do it. And that makes it clean, because then, you know, it's like anything else. You just put it in a particular zone and say, okay, they're permitted there, or,
Here's another question, has anybody checked our current zoning code to see if any of our zones, have bed and breakfast as an allowable use?
Well, there is a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, we have Stewart's.
There's something in the order, we have.
Sometimes you'll be surprised, I mean.
That's what I thought.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember
Well,
anything.
but you know what it is, that's, but that's.
I mean, if you want to say if it's got to be in the 20-acre zone or something, but I don't think Paul's saying this is in a 20-acre zone.
Well, he's using Pinelli as a great example.
What's that?
In the middle, that's that nice house, the Allstate,
Because people are.
On Greenwich Street here.
insurance guy up on the right. The old farmhouse right in the middle of your development, that's, actually,
That brick
farmhouse
building
farm,
is,
right?
yeah, used to be owned by, the Stewarts, the park's named after. It's 200 some odd years old, you know, there's a handful of properties, and I hate to restrict them, but I don't have the answer about how to make this do it, because the other 4 are down on Warren Glen Bloomsbury Road, you got 2 on South Main Street.
What, they're now they're Airbnbs right now?
No, they're not.
I don't think I'm not worried about them then.
We have
Can
a
you
Warren
restrict-
Glen Road.
Based on development?
By me?
Yeah, down on a little bit further down, you got those stone houses that are right there.
Zone.
Oh, okay.
Or your HOA or anything.
I don't have any HOA.
Oh, you don't have a, so only Chase has it, right?
Yeah, and I know that they have, I saw that was
Oh my
Airbnbs in
God.
Chase.
I couldn't get
I
up
saw
at
it.
4.
Oh, is there in
I
there,
saw one,
Chase?
yeah, I saw one.
Yeah, my gym.
Oh, because we punched it all up, but it didn't show up on
I saw one.
their network, that's why we were in
We caught
Cohasset
you before
Township.
you get there.
Well, maybe it was taken, I don't know. Or maybe they took it down, but when I looked, they had one in Greenwich Chase. Anyway,
What do you want to do? You want to table for a month and see if you can do some type of,
I
different?
got one other
thing,
question.
or-
I don't want to table it.
I
I'd
don't
like to
think
come
it's
to
on.
it.
Could you limit it, so we have a 90-day lease thing. If you were to allow Airbnb, is there a way to limit how many days in the calendar year they could use it as an Airbnb?
Sure. Because you're gonna make it a conditional use, I guess. And then
So like, let's say they could use an Airbnb for 30 days of the year tops, spread throughout the 12 months.
Yeah, I don't see why you could do that.
We
My point
sat
there is,
down,
though,
we sat
it's not gonna
down,
be a-
we debated this for a while, we
Well,
come up with nine.
I agree and I agree.
So now we're gonna redo this again, it's like every time I bring up ordinance, when it comes here, I gotta rebuild them all. We should, like, try to settle these things in the beginning.
Kind of hearing what he's saying, where you got, it's a legal business, right? It's not illegal to do Airbnb in the United
Well, let's
States.
not have to do, there's a lot of things that
Because
are
it's an
legal.
opportunity for someone to make money.
There's a lot of different things that people can make money on that we zone out. What does
I know,
that mean?
I'm not, I'm just saying though, I think it shouldn't be in developments, like, because it's too close. But when you have a farmhouse, that would be a nice thing to do, like, I don't have a problem with that. There's gotta be a way to write it where you could say, listen, it shouldn't be in these developments.
I'll
where
let you
kids
take care
with
of
families.
it. You could do it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just,
That's
I'm
my
trying to-
proposal.
No, I'm not doing it.
That's my proposal. I'll make a motion that we go and let John, move ahead on the writing here and to create an ordinance based on this. That's my motion.
I second, let's take a vote. You got it?
Well, we already discussed it, so
Let's
answer
do it.
any questions, okay. Roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
No.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr.
I'm gonna abstain.
We
I wanted to find a compromise.
Next,
Okay. All right. Okay, do we, email blast, we don't need, do we
No,
request
we-
for relocation, that's on email blast or not?
No, we didn't, no, that
street
can,
light,
that can actually be taken off now.
Okay. The street light,
That's been fixed.
has
Well,
that, did they put
right.
the thing up?
Working on it, but you
Okay. Farm leases, do we need to do anything on that?
do, we have to adopt that resolution.
Oh, okay, that's,
I need to put that notice in.
oh, I got everything all out
Where's
of the
the-
order now.
Well, we have a notice to bidders,
I'm all out of
and then
order.
87.
The notice is just your information. Coordination between Franklin County and the Zone's office, this is the finalized.
Okay.
So, this has 5 properties on it. And I thought we had 7, or is it 6? Well, it's at least 6. I know of one that's not on.
Another
here.
one that we don't have on is the one over by Wyndham that the county still has, right? Is that not on here?
That is correct.
What's that one called?
Lee Farm?
Lee, yeah, I think you're right, Lee.
And the Amy Farm is not on here.
Which one's the Amy?
North Main and 57.
Why is that not on there?
Because apparently
Earlier in the week, I was called
it's
it
still
back.
under lease.
Even though this.
Oh, that's the one that had the 5-year magic lease to, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a 3-year lease that magically
Yeah.
turned into a 5-year
So that one we
lease.
can't put on here right now.
Well,
Well,
to move this forward and get it done.
Okay.
It's a little tricky.
Yeah. If we can't, because they got a lease, whether, you know,
Right, and you
we might
can't,
have
it's
to
not
take
right.
a closer look at that in January.
yeah.
So somebody want to make a resolution to adopt 87-2019 resolution?
I'll make a motion to adopt it.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Do you have any other questions or discussions?
No, just the other one is that the Lee Farm, you know, it should be on here, and I know it's, according to the notes from Frank Pinto, the county is supposed to be passing a resolution to transfer it over.
I'm hoping to get a call tomorrow morning about that. That's part of what I told
Yeah.
Mike earlier.
And that's the one where they were asking for,
Yeah. I mean, I know you want it on it, but it's not going to be on there by,
not for this,
yeah,
but hopefully we can get it in time for the auction
yeah. So,
next month.
okay. Good? Roll call? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Second reading, ordinance number 117-2019, that's the ordinance to allow us to condemn the land with a sewer connection for Furman site.
Which one did you say?
115-2019.
Oh, that's the
right?
second reading.
Yeah, second reading, so we have to open up for public hearing. I'll make a motion, we open it for public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no one in the audience, I'll make a motion to close public hearing. Everyone-
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adopt ordinance number 117-2019.
No.
I mean, 115-2019. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call? Yes.
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 Introduce, looking for a motion to introduce ordinance number 117-2019, the 2019 salary ordinance.
I'll make the motion.
Anybody have a second?
I'll second.
Any questions, comments, discussion?
What do you mean?
Roll call? Yes.
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 Motion for adopt resolution number 85-2019, which is a cancellation resolution for capital improvement fund surplus.
I'll make the motion.
Anybody want a second?
Second?
Questions, comments, discussion? Roll call? Yes.
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 Need a motion to adopt resolution 86-2019, resolution to cancel state checks, one unknown check for $13,515.75. It's from the developer's escrow trust account
I'll
reconciliation.
make the motion.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Questions, comments, discussion?
My only comment is, how do we have a check for $13,000 and it's unknown and this and that?
I asked Kathleen the same thing. I don't think it's one check. I think she went through and was cleaning up.
Oh, and this is multiple?
This is like
okay.
multiple items that she can't find a check for. My personal feeling on this is like, I know she's saying we can do this, but I don't know if we should ask the auditor on this, because I've never seen where you can cancel a check with no check number. Just to me is like a little weird, but
And how do we know that it was even issued?
I have no idea. Like, I asked her
agree.
about this.
I think
So
She
we
can't
wait.
find it.
Do we want to vote no and get more?
I think we
Yeah,
vote
let's
no
vote
and
no, yeah.
we get an opinion from the auditor, because
Yeah.
I'm not
Mike
comfortable.
agrees.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
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 Did we do the salary resolution earlier? Can I do it when Kathleen was here? Okay. We did the short-term rental ordinance.
Yep.
discussion on the ordinance from the county on the large hardened buildings to install radio booths. So let's table that until next month.
Yeah, we said that around like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just for discussion.
Yeah, it was just for discussion.
Oh, do you need to make a motion on the rec fees or anything tonight? Are we good
Yes,
with
I
that?
do, yeah. I don't know if it's an ordinance or if it's a resolution.
Let's do, ordinance to mandate direct deposit for all employees. What do you need? Just authorization to draw a,
You already drew up the
Yeah, but I
ordinance.
have been asked, just expressed to the township committee that a bunch of people are not in favor of this. And I didn't get anything in writing back from RNL yet, but it actually does cost us a little bit more per person per account to do it.
Mhm.
So, just thought you guys should have that.
and you know what? Like, you know, can we table that a month? Because, you know, I think I gotta double check with the, with Jim. I'm not sure what's in the police contract, whether they have to
They
get.
don't, it's not negotiable.
It's not?
Nope, it's not a contractual law. Nope. You can put this through ordinance. It's not part of the police contract. They can't.
So we don't have an ordinance number to.
Let's put it this way. Every state employee has direct deposit. The state police mandated direct deposit. Pension mandated direct deposit. Almost all state
I have
governments.
no problem
mandated.
doing it, but you know,
It's
do we
not-
do we have an ordinance number tonight? You wanna put an ordinance number on tonight?
Yeah, I wanna get it done.
Let's
If you
do it.
guys wanna do it, we can just assign a number, 'cause it's already in order.
I want to do it now because
It's
we
all
need to get,
in
everyone who's not on
Give
direct
it a-
deposit's got to get
Give it
their
a number. I
information.
don't have a problem with doing it, but.
The reason I want to do it and the reason it came up is because there's, people have access to the money instantly. There's no waiting, there's no going to the bank. So there's a benefit to the employee by having direct deposit. And then there's an issue with distributing checks, and I don't want to get involved in that either. So,
Okay.
I'm not going to go into that tonight.
You have an ordinance number, or whom we sign it afterwards?
I would just like, I think that, she said she's not in favor of this.
I don't really care. I don't care who doesn't like it. It should just be, everyone should go to direct deposit. Like, the
So
state
we still have to
mandates it.
distribute. We still have to distribute.
No, they get mailed direct. Your statement gets mailed direct to
No, they
home.
all come here.
The checks do.
No, everything comes here.
But they don't have to come here if it's just your statement. The other ones are coming here because they're coming with checks.
Statement can be done electronically, too.
No.
Everything can be done electronically, I agree.
All I'm saying is that everything that
Well,
comes
I mean,
here.
we should have that in the ordinance, just do it electronically for the statements.
There's, nothing should have to come here is my point.
Yeah, it should never be a hard copy either of statements, they should just be.
They should either
Once
be
you
mailed
get
direct
an email,
or.
and you
or
open it up and you
emails.
view your account.
I'm sure that that's an option that we could pay for with RNL for an extra charge, but I'm telling you that right now, they all come here. They all
Now,
come here and
I know you don't have the, I don't know why it would be more expensive to send an email with the electronic copy than to drop off a hard copy for,
No,
to
no.
rip over the envelope and see the same thing. It just,
I'm saying it's a fee for direct deposit and it's a fee per account. Like
Yeah.
if you want to do it into more than one, that I do know.
Right.
But the statements are still coming here. So, and
But,
it's
yeah.
being distributed by.
Well,
Tammy,
we
so-
can ask them that, they could probably mail them direct. They're probably coming here because we're getting checks too, so they just probably put them all together. If everybody's direct deposit and there's nothing that needs to come here, like checks, they can probably just mail your statement.
In Bloomsbury, everybody is direct deposit and I get their statement.
You still get their statement?
In my husband's company, everybody gets direct deposit, it gets mailed to them, and if they have a question, or they go online and they can print it out if they
I
lost
don't even get a statement
something.
mailed. It's
You
all
don't?
all
electronic.
electronic, that's how I
He
am.
gets
too.
everything mailed.
I have to go online and pull it down. I don't
Yeah,
even get it
I
sent
do
to
too.
me.
You
Yeah.
too?
Mine gets sent, I go open up the account off the email and. you can
Yeah, I
just
have to
mail
go
it.
online and
Or I
pull
can
it.
download it, or I can print it.
Even my tax forms, like I don't get a,
Yeah.
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 Here,
You
yeah.
get the
I don't get a
W-2
W-2
online.
anymore.
Well, do you want, you have a number for it?
I would just give it,
160?
118.
118? Yeah, 170, yeah, 118. Okay.
Yeah, 118.
Looking for a motion to introduce ordinance number 118, 2019, and ordinance mandating direct deposit for all township employees. Anybody want to make that
Make a
motion?
motion.
Anybody want a second? I'll second. Questions, comments, discussion? I guess we did that already. Roll call?
Mayor Buck?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. McCarroll?
Yes.
Mr. McCarroll?
Yes.
Mr. Crowe?
Yes.
You got the rec fees and the...
Yeah, so,
I think we could do that by one, Can we just?
Do we have an ordinance that says what rec fees were at?
Yeah.
No. what do we do?
But I thought, most recently, well, think it's a working revenue.
Well, if we don't have it in place now, we just do it by ordinance, we don't have to work, right? I mean,
But do you have to set a new ordinance every year?
we know what we could do is, whatever the fees are.
I couldn't find it.
I think we can just do an ordinance with whatever the fees are now, and say the township committee will, you know, change these from from year to year.
Yeah.
Just a resolution at the beginning of the, you know, the reorg meeting or whatever time during the year.
Okay.
And then it'll be incumbent upon whoever, you know, I mean, you guys will know, because we put on these color rec committees that these are the fees. Well, it's like it's like the open space tax in some towns, it says it's anywhere from 1% to 3%, you said it at the reorg meeting, so you could just set the fees, and then there, for the year 2019, it's gonna be X, and then every year thereafter, we set for the township committee at, you know, just a resolution. As long as the ordinance says you can do that subsequent to that.
So how do you word the ordinance then?
So we would have to say that it would be subject to change by resolution by the committee, so that then people would know to look for a resolution.
Do you want
I would
to,
say that the way I would,
you want to table this and then
Yeah,
just
okay.
do it next month and just write it up? And the reason it's up is because the rec used to be a commission, and then when we changed them to committee, they're not allowed to set fees because they're not an authorizing committee. So we have to actually approve the fees that they've set, and that's the reason we got to do it.
Every time you change the form from committee to commit, there's pros and cons,
There's
both
pros and
ways,
cons,
you know?
yeah.
Okay, who has this ordinance to regulate the keeping of chickens?
I do. I have it here. Well, it turns out, and I believe it was probably just omitted when the zoning book was put together, but in Frank's community, because I'm going to use that because that's where the problem is, you can have chickens. And lots of them.
There's somebody in my development has.
Well, they're
I
not
think
allowed.
that house that you were talking about had some little bit of livestock there at one time anyway.
We just went through the whole thing, but in your neighborhood, in the PDZ or the PDSZ, whichever zone you are, it looks like the chicken part of, it's written in almost every other residential community that you're just not allowed to have
Chickens?
Well,
Somebody has chickens?
it's right on Brill Road, there was a problem with a neighbor, rats. Well, it was here in the Warren County Health
Yeah, I
Report.
saw that, yeah.
And stuff like that. The people actually have taken the 2 chickens that are left inside, and they're wearing diapers. And the judge, but basically, the judge, because it wasn't written into that particular zone, and I think it was omitted.
I've heard enough. I say you come back next month with an ordinance that we bring that zone in conformance with the rest of the zones.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask, is how does it, because somebody's got to go through every zone now to make sure that it's not been omitted elsewhere. Should we just have one
I'm
general?
okay with it, but I'm just saying, that's a whole new ordinance.
sure,
Okay, I'm fine with it. That's fine. That's fine.
No, I mean, people have asked, and my answer to everybody is, I said, no, you're not allowed to have chickens. However, if you don't have a rooster and they're not running around the neighbor's house and nobody complains, we don't go looking.
I got a question, do we specify
Yes.
what type of animals you're not allowed?
No,
Or is it just like any of this?
farm-related animals, like,
Farm-related?
because we've got somebody who's about to start a rabbit farm across the street here, and they wanted to do chickens.
Because they wanted to.
Why don't you talk to John Drill and see how difficult it is to change this ordinance, if
Okay.
it costs a lot of money or not, and it's a simple solution. Let's have an ordinance number for next month.
Okay, all right. But otherwise, the bottom line is, we didn't get in front of the judge because the health department came down with him and stuff like that. But basically, we were told that if this comes in front of the judge, we have to rewrite it under a nuisance law because that zone doesn't.
So I can't put an alpaca in my yard?
No.
Can I get chickens?
Huh?
Can I get chickens? My neighbor would hate me.
Who put the property recently acquired from the...
I would have to look at your zone, but I'm not sure.
Okay, what's up with this tax sale, 2018 tax sale?
Okay, in the land use board, Frank, you'll find this interesting. The other day, it's not a tax sale, we own it. I forget what exactly how Bonnie said that we came back and possessed. Oh, no, it was on the list of foreclosures that we bought. So to make a long story short, Ross's Dress for Less is moving into the old Staples, and if nobody's heard, by the way, Best Buy is moving out,
moving out.
which is, that's terrible, but that's a whole nother conversation. One of Ross's Dress for Less's big issues was, they're not seeing, that building's not seen too well from 22. The signage isn't great, this and that, and there's a lot of blocking it. So everybody assumed that the people that own the development, the mall there, actually own that, and there was a back and forth. Well, it turns out that we own that piece of property.
What piece of property?
You got the Chamois Shine right here, and then right across the street from the Chamois Shine is a half an acre. It used to be the old septic system for the Chamois Shine, but now there's public sewer there, so it's been discontinued. We foreclosed on that property, and we now own it. So Ross's Less Redress are coming, and they want to professionally, well, they'd like the trees all completely gone, and I don't think that's going to happen. But they'd like it cleaned up and opened up so that people from 22 have a better view of their place. My immediate thought that particular night was, well, hell, let's just sell it to them, instead of sitting on it, and that way they can put their own sign on it and all that good kind of stuff that they want to, and they can maintain it. Otherwise, they're coming to us to clean it up. And here comes one of those natural tree line conversations in the whole process.
How big a sign do they want?
Well, the problem is, if you come in there, and across from the Chamois Shine, the first big sign you see, other than off of 78, is you're 100 yards into it, and it's in the woods on the left-hand side by America's Best Value. They'd love to have a pylon right there, that as you turn in, it's clearly there. Ross, I think they want some over signage, but that's their gig, and they're getting variances.
You have to get variances.
Yeah, they're going through variances and everything else. But this all cropped up because of the tree line and everything, and Mike and Bonnie, we're trying to find out who owns the piece of property because we thought they did, and we'll just clean it up yourself.
So, okay, so when you're coming out of the Chamois Shine, when you're leaving,
Yes.
it's right there in front of you,
No,
on the
you,
other side of the road.
When you come out where the
Where
gate is,
the antique
No,
shop
when
was?
no, you gotta do the whole loop, and then where you bear it to the right.
And you're
Yeah,
forced right.
that
Right,
half
right,
acre
right.
we own.
Okay.
Bonnie said the land assessed value is $9,000. I would have thought it would have been more. But my question is, I don't know what the process is. Can we communicate with Madison One, the managing partners up there, and entertain selling it to them? Be forward to it?
Is it undersized? That's gotta be half an acre, is that a
Really?
lot in that zone?
I would believe so, yes.
I got a crazy idea. I got a better idea.
Yes.
Yeah, so you gotta
What's
wonder,
that?
so we could offer it to neighboring property owners, hopefully they're the only one. I think Chamois Shine wouldn't want it back, right? Because they must have let it go originally.
I think before the stems, I think it got let go, right?
Yeah, so we'd have to.
that's the
we could
picture of the
we'd have to
property.
offer
So you're
to
coming
sell-
out, you're making a right.
I think it's between the parking lot of
Then they just, we can.
of those
seal bid,
stores
we
and
can-
Chamois
you
Shine.
know, I'm not
Okay.
gonna give you a public auction.
Right.
I just can't picture
What's
it,
your best number?
but I know what
Okay.
area you're talking
Okay.
about.
If you-
Yeah, you're coming out.
You have to have a
Right.
public
Going
auction.
down the road
Can
and
we-
goes like this.
So here's a crazy
Yeah,
idea.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's this
Indulge me
here
for a
or
minute.
something.
Oh, okay.
It's our property, right? I don't know what it's zoned for. Can we?
It's highway bidding one.
Can we put a sign up and they rent the space?
Well, that's actually, John Driller suggested that.
You gotta bid it though, you gotta auction
Ye-
it, so they wouldn't necessarily get it. You could get some porn shop that.
Piper Brown.
No, John Drill actually said, he sits there, let them put a pylon up there and lease it to them and collect rent. And I'm thinking, I don't want to maintain this piece of property under any condition. Let's sell it. I don't want to be
But you
involved
would
in it.
sell it to that, you would sell it to the whole mall.
No, the whole mall. No, that's
Yeah.
what, no, not Rosin. The whole
Oh,
mall
okay,
is who I'm
yeah.
talking to.
Ah.
So,
You could auction.
so can I reach out to them and suggest, I think with the Best Buy closing, I think they're going to say absolutely not. Because they're about to lose some big rent. And so, but can we reach out to them privately?
Sure.
Okay.
And say, look, if you guys are interested, we have to offer it to all contiguous owners.
Right.
And at Chamois Shine, they say, you know what, we have no interest.
Right.
We would have kept it if we did. and then if they're the only one that's interested in it, you know.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure, see if we could just reach out to
So
them.
which side of the road is it on? The same side of Shammy Shine?
I think it's
the other side.
And this is where you come around from Sammy Shine, is it?
That's that lot right there.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you
No, 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 that's the same side as Shammy's.
Yeah, this is Sammy Shine. You come
Yeah.
out of Sammy Shine, you
Go
go
around.
around, you gotta make the right.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
it's
that-
that.
It's that lot right
Oh,
there.
I thought it was over here.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay. Got it, okay.
Okay.
Got it, all right.
Holiday party, we're gonna talk about real quick. I guess our biggest decision tonight is, how do we determine how far down we invite people? Like, do we invite like the entire fire department and rescue squad? Did we always do it that way in the past? And what's the per head fee? Lisa?
Well, it's also a matter of room. I think it is 34.
34
I
per.
don't remember the fire department, were they there last
I
time?
think we always
Well,
invited a line.
my first year here, I thought everybody got invited.
And where was that? When you were on the committee, when we headed up?
Mariana's.
Mariana's, yeah?
So we have
But to the best of my knowledge, that's the only time. I thought in the past, only officers from the squad got invited.
I think, yeah, maybe.
And it might have only been the
Yeah,
captain
like at
too.
rec, you can't invite, I mean, I'd love to, but you can't invite
Yeah,
like
you
every
can't invite-
coach. We gotta draw a line at like the
Yeah,
rec
I-
committee.
Yeah,
we
I
never
thought it's
went
like
that far.
appointed
Yeah.
committees,
Got a list.
so like the planning
Better
board.
speak.
Am I taking your thunder, you have suggestions, or
No, no,
what?
no, I was just gonna
Why
read
don't you
off
do what
numbers
you did last time?
if you're interested.
I don't know how we did it last
Oh, you don't
time,
know how?
2 years ago.
We have 40 employees,
Mhm.
and then when you do land use, you know, we have
11,
11 more that are not
what about you're not doing professionals?
environmental commission, we have at least 4.
We did the professional last time, though, I do remember that.
Yeah, yes, I
And
remember.
then there's,
Then it gets into, are you doing historic commission? And all their membership?
Well, if you invite one committee, you gotta invite, I thought it was
Just
all
the
the
committee.
employees, the township committee, all appointed committees. So
Yeah.
rec committee, planning board, open space, historic. I thought the professionals were invited, because I remember
Yeah.
Jim being
Yeah,
there.
we invited the professionals.
And then,
Yeah, Ken did come, yeah.
on the volunteer squads,
Yeah.
I don't know who was invited.
The
It was just officers, right?
So between line officers and desk officers, which Paul brought up, there's 13 for fire, and then there's, I'm sorry, the rescue.
What's the max we can have at the place?
I have to call them and find out, but you know.
And if we invited all the members of the squad and all the members of the fire company, that's where we're down to now. How many more would that add? What are we up to
That's
now?
adding at least 15.
What are you up to now?
Fire and rescue, so 40.
If you're gonna go that far, then you gotta say,
Coaches and stuff?
no, not even saying that. If there's not enough room, then you can't invite the spouse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because, the employees, it was, you and your spouse, or
Yeah.
significant other, whatever, a guest.
What are we up
Plus one.
I mean, we're at like 85, 90.
I don't think you can go any more than that.
Well, that's without the guest?
That's
Okay.
not, yes.
that's what I would guess.
So we
That,
can't-
I can tell you right now, that place doesn't have room for 107 people.
Well,
No,
I mean,
we don't
that's I don't know all.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you plan for the
Actually, you know,
max,
2 or 4 cops aren't gonna be there because they'll be working. That makes
They-
sense.
they can fit 90 in the one room,
You're
and
gonna
then
have to
there's a
limit
side room, they
somehow.
can put another 25 and 30
Yeah,
plus
but
the
if we're doing
bar.
this on a Saturday night, they're not gonna shut down the restaurant for us.
No, I'm saying, like, when you walk into the left,
Mhm.
there's the one room, that could fit 90, and then right,
Which place are
there's
we
like a
talking about?
little side room there
Oh, is that
with the
what was
window.
decided?
That's like,
Yeah.
they could fit
Yeah.
like 20, 30 people there. You can get like 120.
Agreed, I think that would be about max.
Well, I've been there once for a banquet, and there was 110, and we were packed in there like sardines, you couldn't move.
Yeah.
What
Well,
are we
one
gonna
room
do
for
if
sure.
you get 75 people?
Well,
That's
I-
10% less. Let's say 20% of the 85 don't come, that's, 17?
What happened, the architects is bigger place, the whole one. They never even looked at it, no.
Their offering was less.
It's
I mean,
cheap, yeah, at least
they
it's
just-
expensive.
Oh, is that what it was?
I mean, expensive and.
Less food.
No selection, it's just minimal, but.
Well, even at 85, I mean, I don't think we can go any less than those invites, right?
So you're saying 85 is all the employees, committees, and officers? officers of first aid
And
and fire.
again, that's if, for fire, if you do all their line and,
I don't think we do all the members.
if you do all the line officers and the desk officers,
Yeah.
that was the other question
Right.
that Paul had brought up.
Well,
How
I
many-
think
how
that
many-
goes both ways.
Is it on the-
Well, there's 4 line officers and 2 desk officers.
That's
Unless
what
you
I
just
do.
say, you give a fixed number. to
Yeah,
each
actually, there's
group and say what the-
one of the desk
Say-
officers is also a line
If you
officer.
said, say 3,
Like, keep it right, go.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Well, actually, no,
I
then,
know
hang
you're
on.
enjoying this, but
I'll interrupt this question. I put my thing away here. The Polaris thing is back in here. Did you all see it? And it said, that they've met all their obligations and everything. And I'll dig it back out if I need, but they haven't met all their obligations. They still owe us $30,000 and they owe, Easton Phillipsburg Honda $30,000. Remember, we talked about this a couple of months ago. We were gonna try to sit down with them and get it. I don't think they can get their money back yet because they haven't met all their obligations.
it is.
I mean, they've got the CO and they've got this, but they have not met all their obligations. And if we pony out that $249,000, we are never gonna see our 30 grand.
And I say we don't give it to them.
I thought they had satisfied everything, but we said we were gonna hold them up because
It's all the first aid,
there
it's
was
all the fire.
this finger pointing going on between the county and them about.
Well, yeah, but the county says they're not paying us the 30 grand, and they're not entitled to. The deal was, in the original contract, it's with Polaris. Because the county library didn't own it when it got done. They didn't buy it till afterwards. Polaris is the one that owes us, the sewer hookup money, and they owe, Easton Phillipsburg Honda because they paid to have the line put in years ago. And that was always a deal that anybody who hooks onto that had to pay.
Yeah, the problem with performance bonds though is, the performance bond is only for the items that were bonded, right? So, that sewer fee, I'm gonna assume, well, 99.9% sure it's not part of that money. So, I agree with you.
I think you're probably right.
They owe us the money, so we're not gonna release it, but if they go into court and say, well, wait a minute, we did everything we're supposed to, that's completely different.
So we're
And
good with
I
that.
don't,
Come with what we just
the
said.
thing is, it's funny, I mentioned something to Brad
85.
Carney about that, because I
Okay,
don't
so there's
know.
a-
Right.
because We actually
I
had,
hope it doesn't go over
we had
for him.
represented them before, so I have a conflict
Right.
on that, so.
Right.
But he was saying, well, no, that's more of a private
Oh.
right of action against, I said, no, it's my understanding that they owe us for like
Well,
exit fees.
Right,
He was
85.
saying it was
And
money
60%
owed to
of them said yes,
Phillipsburg
it's
Honda.
50,
Yeah.
plus
Because
spouse
they,
is 100.
so.
No, Phillipsburg Honda put the line in, and the agreement was anybody who hooked up to
I mean,
it,
what is his responsibility?
had to pay them, an X amount of fee dependent on whatever.
Yeah.
And they still owe us for a hookup for the town, just like anybody
On the
else.
employees,
I
like, we
think that's
know
something we should.
all the
let's just
employees,
confirm
40
that
of them,
tomorrow.
right?
Okay,
I don't.
so I can call Kathleen in the morning and tell her not to release this yet? Can we table it one more month?
Saturday night.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
'cause I think
60% is probably.
Reality is, if we say, well, we're just checking on some things, they're not gonna file suit within 30 days.
Okay,
They're just
all right.
gonna get it the next.
Well, I just wanna make sure I tell
Just for the
Kathleen, so,
extra
okay.
room and the bar.
All right, we can go back to the,
We
holiday
did the
party.
repass there, and I told him, like, I had no idea. I go, it's gonna be between 75 and 120. It wound up being 120, and they had like 90 in the back, 20 to 30 in the
Is this
front.
our, is this
and
our
then-
last topic?
and
I'm
then
just curious.
bar.
Yeah,
It is? All right.
okay. Well,
So,
let's do the invitation to those 85 and spouses. And if it comes back too much, I
How
don't know
much
what
is
we're
it
gonna
in
do.
How much is it?
32 or 34 heads, did you say?
is that everything all in?
And last time, we didn't end up with like 100 people, I think.
Everybody keeps telling me that normally it's like 60,
Yeah.
70 people. I just wanted to bring it to attention because everyone says to come.
Oh, that's what I always worry about, even cost-wise, if everybody came. I mean, you like to make the invitation, but you're half hoping that some people don't come.
I don't know.
My only other suggestion, I'm not trying to do this, but if you know, if spouses have to pay, it'd be less spouses, that would probably affect. Because I think most spouses are like, I don't want to do any work thing, but if it's free dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just saying, that's the only other suggestion of the.
Yeah. And you I hate to limit the spouses to your full-time employees, because you really don't do much for them otherwise. But at the same time, you know, volunteer rescue squad or firemen, the wives or the spouses deal with that too. They sacrifice during the absences as well, you know.
Does the fire or the first aid, do they do their own kind of banquet thing?
The rescue squad periodically has, we probably won't ever do it again, because it would cost $4,000 or $5,000.
I remember my mom being on it, they used to do a banquet every year, but.
Yeah, no, they used to, well, and they called it a fundraiser thing, but, you know, again, they're $45,
That was like
$100, $5,000 kind of thing. And we just,
Okay.
So if we do the 85 and we get a good response with the spouses, and is it Alato? I don't know how to say his name, Eladio. If they can't accommodate it, we gotta have a plan B. Right?
Well, again, you know, of the 3 dates that you guys have available, we only have one of them.
Well, the only option, the only thing you could do is if he lets you out of using his place, still have him cater it, and try to find another place to have it. Like this Bloomsbury Firehouse, allow outside catering, you gotta use their kitchen. That would only be the option, is say to them, you can't fit us, will you cater it off premise, we get a place.
Can you bring, there's no, nah, he's not gonna do that.
No, he would cook it down here. Like, when my retirement party, they catered it.
Yeah.
It was at the Alpha Firehouse, because there was no other place big enough to do it. He came up and set up a nice thing, he did all the cooking there, he brought it up and catered it.
When you send the invitation out,
Mariana,
you say where it's gonna be?
Yeah, they could always,
You can say it's,
you know, I mean, it's all people
They
work
would-
here, that's not hard to get out.
What about Harper's?
I don't know if they have a room up there.
Oh, they do.
They have a room
They have a
upstairs.
room upstairs, yeah,
They could do that for you?
probably.
I know Mariano's can, they have a,
We had it here in Mariana.
yeah, they have it.
That was the day he got back to me, and I didn't pursue it too hard because I heard other people saying negative things, so I was like, oh, we don't want to go there.
well, you would have had that catered, they wouldn't have been able to handle it. Big events, they cater, they don't try to do it on their own.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
No, Harper's.
that.
What about Harper's?
Harper's would have it catered, a big event they cater. They've got a restaurant going on, but it's only for that little thing. If they had a big event there, they cater it.
Yeah,
Well, they,
I was gonna say.
Occasions has done it,
yeah.
but you could get anybody to come in and.
Oh, really?
And cater it, yeah.
The only use is, we'd have to know,
What
I mean,
about-
if there you have the whole book that way, you can't use it, but I mean,
Or do these 85 people, and if you want to bring it across, pay something. If you do the 30 guys, that's pretty much. I was very excited to send my invitation before I started doing the math. and then I was doing that, so.
So the issue is more about the space than.
space,
anything.
yeah, the cost, yeah.
Well, and I mean, it cost.
Well, yeah,
When you look at this number, I was like,
Well,
150 people show up.
Yeah.
You guys give me a cost not to exceed, we're gonna have to go get.
First 85 people are in.
Sign up early.
The first 60 people are in.
Could also get the Bloomsbury Firehouse and get occasions to do it.
We can go do it at the Chinese buffet. They can see quite a
Okay,
few.
come on,
of
it's
us.
11:30. What do we want to do here?
Best Buy.
What do we want to do? Just take the chance and go with the 85?
Yeah, I think you might have to, as a, you gotta have a backup plan. I mean, that's the
Those,
issue.
those rooms are tight, man, I'm telling you.
Can you ask him if he would do it? Can you ask Bloomsbury if he would use it, and ask him if he would do it at Bloomsbury?
Yeah, I would text the caterer in Bloomsbury right now, but it's like,
Yeah.
But if he wouldn't do it at Bloomsbury, why couldn't we go like to occasions?
Well, they have their own caterer there at Bloomsbury, so I guess if you end up going to Bloomsbury, you have to, she's liable to have a party that night, right, when you call her, so I can't give you
I'll
anything.
find out.
And what other places can accommodate this size? I mean,
Well, we
know
said Harper's, we
architects-
said architects.
And Mariana's and Bloomsbury Firehouse.
Again, we still go back to, I mean.
What about Morgan Hill?
Being able to spend $20 time on building up, what are we gonna be able to spend per person? It's gonna become a cost thing, the numbers that,
Like if we had 150 people, I don't even know, what do we have?
Every 10's 1,400. 1,500, 1,550 people, every $10 is 1,500, so.
Well, what do we have, 3,500 bucks?
They said approximately 65,000.
Okay.
And Kathleen never got me the final number, so I'm not sure.
What about Asbury Wells?
I don't think they have. I
Look
don't
at
think
it, it's a whole,
I don't think they could put
In the back.
150 people?
In the
Yeah,
back,
the
it's pretty
room's
big.
there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
That
big in
big?
the back. I don't
I
know how
thought
much,
it was small.
I don't know how much.
No.
it
I've
is,
been
but
there.
it-
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
now the front part is where they used to have the restaurant,
Oh, yeah.
but then they have a whole
They have
catering.
the catering in the back, I forgot about that.
I don't know how big it is, but it's
I don't
big.
know how big it is.
What is that?
The Willows, you never go in Asbury? That's good. They have like a wedding hall there.
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah,
You think it's big enough?
my sister had her meeting or something.
Oh, so you would know. So is
Well-
it big enough?
I don't know, I don't feel like.
You know
it's
what?
bigger than
Why don't we
the
do
same,
this?
But I don't, it's the use.
You have time tomorrow to call around. We authorized the money already. You want to just authorize the clerk and I to make the decision for the
Fine.
location, to
I'm
accommodate the
fine
number
with
of
that.
people?
Yeah.
So we got the
I
number.
mean, she can reach out to you guys and get an idea, you know, I mean, what?
Yeah, maybe that's the thing, we get a sense if you have a date, like, just a non-committal answer from the employees, say, would you be going or not, you know, just to kind of get a sense of response rate.
Or get an invitation out early to this group and spouses, I don't know, with a deadline to respond and then move on. That's
Then
something
when does he need you to reserve a date, though?
Oh, I reserved it.
Oh,
Yeah, because of our 3 dates, he had 1 date available.
okay.
Like, the people are already booked.
But
all the
is there gonna be a charge if we cancel that?
I mean, it looked, like I said, it was like, hey, 100 people, 110 people, we're golden. And then I did the math on this, I was like, I honestly am not like, Paul and I were talking about
Wind
it.
up having to set it up in the firehouse and use the whole building.
Every volunteer, you start doing the math on that, and you're like, this is a lot of people. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, no one's gonna come. It's
Set
just
up
60
in the-
people, but what if?
In the auditorium.
And it's been a while, and that's a nice place they'd go.
You sell it, huh?
I
You could
think.
use
I'm
it.
positive that they were not gonna
You
come.
could- you could have done
You know, I don't know, I don't know.
Bob wants to have it in the park.
it. Nobody comes with
I
it.
did 10.
I think if you do
If
roughly,
spouses pay $25 or something, people will do it.
if you roughly did a 60% response rate, which is typically, you're gonna be around 100 people.
Okay.
And that place will hold
With
that.
spouses, something like that?
Mhm.
Well, if you do 85,
Good food at least.
you said 85, right? Without spouses.
Get some nice Spanish food.
So 85 times 2 is 170 times 60% is 102. So you're gonna be right around that limit if you get 60. Now, if you go above 60%, then it's just that much more command. I would just ask him if you can use that side room and the bar, because if you can, it fits a lot.
Yeah.
You can do like 130, 140 easy.
Paul and I
Okay.
I'll sit at the bar.
No, I said I wasn't coming.
are. I know, right?
I know.
So we tell her to go ahead with the invitation tomorrow? We tell her to go ahead with the
I'm gonna
invitation?
come up with a final list and run it by you guys. How's
That sounds good.
Okay.
Let's start there, because I'm still waiting for.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Did I go?
That was a long meeting.
Yes, it was.
Well,